pass, rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Friday afternoon, welcoming you inside the Foreground. This is the Minnesota Section 6A Championship game featuring the New York Mills Eagles going up against the Parker's Prairie Panthers. And I'm Chase Miller. For New York Mills, 4 wins, 6 losses on the season. They've won back-to-back games, 35-20 at West Central area. Then Top Breckenridge in the semifinals, 26-18. The last time New York Mills won a section title was back in 2021, advancing all the way into those quarterfinals. While for the Parker Prairie Panthers, the last time they won a section title was 2003. Here for the Panthers, they were able to knock off Walker Higginsack Akeley 50-0 in the section quarters, then top Lake Park Audubon 47-22 to advance here to the championship game. When we come back after this, we'll get to our coach's corner. Mike Radnicki from New York Mills, also Mike Johnson from Parker's Prairie will be joining the conversation. We'll take a look at the state tournament bracket, that and more, all still to come. It's the Section 6A Football Championship here on yourliveevent.com.
At American Federal Bank, we have all the tools to help you achieve financial success. This is Nick Gordon, your local ag and business banker. Are you currently looking for banking, investment, or insurance options? American Federal Bank in Ada can help. Please contact me, Carly, or McKenna today at 784-7121. American Federal Bank in Ada, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Now's the time to call the Bennett Hoagland Agency for PRF coverage. If you depend on rainfall in specific months to maximize haying and or grazing practices, then pasture, rangeland, forage. PRF is a great risk management choice for you. Sign is December 1st. Talk with John, Wayne, or Marissa. Experience matters. The Bennett Hoagland Agency has been working with PRF for over 15 years. The Bennett Hoagland Agency, Ada and Moorhead, 1-800-784-2106. The Bennett Hoagland Agency is an equal opportunity provider.
The Halstead Living Center and Heritage House in Halstead provide great places for seniors to live. They emphasize choices, independence, and provide services as directed by residents. They're also great places to work, where employees find not only a job, but also rewarding and enjoyable experiences that contribute to the lives of others. To get more information on Halstead Living Center and Heritage House in Halstead, call 218-456-2105 or log on to halsteadlivingcenter.com.
As we continue in the Section 6A Football Championship here from the Fargo, New York Mills going up against Parker's Prairie. Joining us now from Parker's Prairie, that is their head coach, Mike Johnson. And Mike, I always like to ask coaches, November, you're playing pretty good football. You're playing for a meaningful game as you are here in the Section Championship later against New York Mills. What have you liked from your team, not just here in October, but from the start in August to where we are now? What have you liked throughout your season so far here for Parker's Prairie?
Well, I've really thought that our team has done a nice job with our goal this season has been to get better every day and to get better every week. And they've really embraced that as a team where they're continuing to strive to improve themselves individually and as a team. And, we've taken some bumps and bruises along the way against some pretty good football programs. And the way that they responded to those 2 losses against Staples and Pillager, they just responded really well and did a nice job of coming back and kind of refocusing and finishing the regular season out strong, and then coming out in the playoffs with 2 wins has been huge for them. I think their confidence has improved, that they understand now that they're capable of seeing success on the field, and I think that's helped build their confidence to where they are now, that they're going into games feeling better about stuff, feeling confident, and ready to lay it out on the field. So
Going up against New York Mills, you played them early on in the season. How have they changed from your perspective, back in September to where we are now here, the first couple of days of November? Mike, what's kind of changed about that New York Mills program? Or has it, okay, maybe it's just their guys have gotten a little bit more integrated in the system with the new faces they've had from a year ago? How much has kind of changed for you here, Mike?
well, New York Mills is always a tough physical football team, and they were down in the state semifinals a couple of years ago. So a lot of those seniors and upperclassmen from New York Mills they've been here and they've experienced some of that success, and Coach Radnicki has got those guys playing very physical. They beating Breckenridge last week, and West Central, the 2 and 3 seed. They've just been playing very tough defense and playing physical. They made some positional moves at the quarterback position, and so that's changed a little bit of their style and how they've done things. But they're not making as many mistakes, and playing physical, and they've been making big plays, and that's been kind of the difference for them. Defensively, when we played them the first game, we were able to kind of hold them in check and avoid the big plays, and that's what we're going to have to do on Friday to be able to stop them too. So.
And as you kind of take a look at this particular matchup, before we talk about some of the players on your team this year, Mike, who's allowed you to get to this point of the season, what's one thing that Parker's Prairie must do well against New York Mills to come out with a section championship and, get to that state quarterfinals?
We got to play smart football. And what I mean by that is we can't turn the ball over. We can't hurt ourselves. We can't have penalties that hurt ourselves. We need to make sure that we control the ball and control the clock, and have our defense continue to play fast and physical, and avoid any kind of big plays from Mills offense, because they got some players that can score at any time. So we got to make sure to make them earn everything that they get, and control the things that we can control on our end of it.
And I take a look at some of your players here. You got a senior in Zach Murnack. When he is averaging nearly 10 tackles per contest, that means he's flying around to the football, getting himself into proper positions as well. Not just that, Mike, but what else does he provide on top of being a tackling machine, so to speak, for your squad this season?
He kind of sets the tone for us on the defensive side of the ball. We're actually able to get him in the end zone last week against Lake Park Audubon on a rushing touchdown on the offensive side, and he's the kind of kid that, when he's hyped up, when he's ready to roll, when he's making plays, it's contagious for everybody around him. And he's just been an outstanding leader by example, bringing a lot of juice to practice, and having fun with things. He doesn't settle for anything but his best effort at all times. And so when he's running around and chasing stuff down, the rest of the guys on the defensive side of the ball, they kind of want to get in on some of those tackles too. So they don't want him to hog all of them. So that just helps them get to the ball quicker. And he's just been an outstanding leader for us and great football player for the last couple of years, and having his best season so far.
And I know you mentioned before we chatted, sometimes when you get a player to have a 4-year starter, that's not always the case. Sometimes in certain situations you're that good, other situations you're put into the fray. But for David Reverine here, the senior, what has his transition been like from his freshman year to where he is now? For your program being one of those senior leaders.
Yeah, David came into our program as a 9th grader. He had been a state wrestler 7th and 8th grade year, and so he kind of been a part of some big moments in his early career, and he kind of jumped in and started competing right away. Started for us at corner for the last 3 years as a freshman, sophomore, and junior, and then last year was our main offensive player, led us in rushing and touchdowns, and this year we moved him to safety, and he's been a great offensive threat for us this year. and what we've seen from David is kind of a quiet, you know, just take care of business kind of attitude as his first couple of years into now. He is a vocal leader. He is, you know, leading the charge. He's setting the expectations of things. And on the same side, he's also keeping things loose and keeping things fun. And so I think that this role of senior leadership, him and Murnak have been a junior and senior captains for us for the last 2 years. And so this year, it's just been nice to see them kind of take the bull by the horns and be the leaders of the team and feel like that's their role, and they've embraced that. And so that's been really fun to see over the last couple of years of those guys progressing into who they are today.
Final thing for you, Mike, before I let you go, what would it mean to win a section championship here for Parker's Prairie and get to that next round, that state tournament round in the quarterfinals?
Oh, it'd be huge. This season alone has really brought the community together, and we've had some tough years in the recent history, and so we've always kind of known that this group has been a special group of young men, and so the excitement is all over the place, and we've only been to the state tournament once as a football program. It was 20 years ago. So I think this will mean a lot to our football program. You know, those younger kids sitting in the stands that, you know, one day will say, hey, we want to play here too. And that's huge. That, you know, that success breeds success. And so it'd be huge for our program, our community, and just a great opportunity for these guys to experience, you know, once in a lifetime kind of experience. So really excited for them and for everybody that's been with us on the way to hopefully get this opportunity to keep this run going.
Mike, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here against New York Mills in the Section 6A championship.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll continue on our pregame show after this here from the Fargo Dome.
Gordon Construction of Mahnomen is a Native American-owned business proudly operating on the White Earth Indian Reservation since 1983. As a bonded general contractor, Gordon Construction provides years of experience in large, detailed, and within-budget projects. Gordon Construction is committed to the safety of its employees and the environment of its work sites. To learn more about Gordon Construction of Mahnomen, visit gcmahnomen.com or call 218-935-2191.
As we continue today from the Fargo Dome for the Section 6A football championship between New York Mills and Parker's Prairie, joining us now from New York Mills, that is Matt Radnicki here, the head coach for New York Mills. And Matt, taking a look, you get to, October, late October, now you get to November, you obviously are still alive, which is number one once you get to Minnesota. What has changed from your team, or what have you liked from your team here at the end of the season, particularly in the quarters and your win against Breckenridge to get to this section championship game here this season?
Yeah, probably the thing I'm most proud of, Chase, is that simple fact that our team didn't give up on the season. We were 2-6 going into the playoffs. The last couple of years, we've had some pretty good teams. Last year we were at 9-1, and the year before we went to the semifinals at US Bank. So we kind of got that winning culture starting to go with the kids. But they could have easily just said, we're not going to be ready to play and come on Tuesday and play to West Central. And, I'm not going to say lay an egg, but just don't play well. Nobody would have really said anything. So I'm probably most proud is that we kept believing in what we're trying to do. And we had our two best games of the year so far, the last two games with West Central and Breckenridge in the playoffs. So very proud of that they didn't give up. Also, the number one thing that we've preached all year and finally is kind of coming to fruition is that no turnovers. We've been eliminating turnovers a lot. First time we played Breckenridge, we had 7 turnovers. On Saturday we did have 4, but it wasn't, I don't know, sometimes they're not as bad as at certain times in games, okay? And that too. So, we're trying to win the turnover battle, and that's really hurt us during the regular season and some of our other games. And so, turnover battles, ball security is a big thing for us.
Probably leads into my next question for you here, Matt. How has this team changed from early part of the season when you played Parker's Prairie? I believe it was game number 3 for you, on the year to where you're at now. How is this landscape of the New York Mills, guys that are on this year's version to 2023 version? How is the team kind of continue to mold and get better as you have a second chance against them here later today?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we finally found an offensive identity. We kind of went through the early things. We were doing some spread and doing some, things such as wildcat and different options and different, spreading the field, trying to throw the ball a little bit more. We kind of went back to our old identity of an I offense, kind of an old traditional offense, but we do very well with it. And Tegan Lawson and our line has really led us to that. So I think that's been a big key to our success these last few weeks. Let the second half of the year scoring some more points, just kind of finding an offensive identity, sticking with it and building upon that and doing what we do best.
And going into that, let's talk a little bit more about Tegan specifically here. What has he just provided to the 2023 version of New York Mills football?
Yeah, he's a senior. He's a really great leader. One of the kids that we can rely on. And I think he's been probably the most stable kid that we've had as far as just everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay talking to his teammates. And he's learned to run better. He's become a better running back this year. Last year he played wing back. Now he's a featured eye back in our system. It's a little different change in the tailback spot. And he's learned how to run better and lowering his pads and getting those extra yards. But also he has good speed. So, he's been a big catalyst to our team. But, our linemen have also kind of bought in, and we've kind of got that old theory. We're going to be kind of a hammer team, get after them and grind it out. And we're not splashy, but we're doing things well in what we're doing right now.
That kind of goes to the next one with Bodie Roberts. I know before we started chatting, you said, hey, sometimes linemen don't get the credit, but we all know that if you can't block someone, the quarterback and the running back are not going to have a good day. Or on the opposite side, if you can't get after the quarterback or get after the running back, then there's some gaping holes there defensively. But what has Bodie just brought to the team as well here, Matt?
Yeah, well, not only Bodie, but we talked a little bit about Sam too, and I want to talk about some other senior. Will Simon, there's 3 senior linemen we have, and Bodie and them have really just they've gotten after it. I mean, at halftime of our game against Breckenridge, we were down 12-0, and they just looked at me and said, "Keep running the ball, coach. Keep running the ball behind us. We're going to do it. Keep running the ball." And you can just kind of see they had that confident look in their eye. And sometimes it's kind of hearsay, but they just told me, "Coach, just believe in us. Keep running the ball behind us. Keep the game plan. We're going to be okay." And we did that. And lo and behold, we did have a great third quarter and fourth quarter in Breckenridge to win that game. So, kudos to them. But at the same time, they stayed physical and stayed getting after it and did a nice job.
You kind of go into a game like this because, as you mentioned, you have been there. You have been to this particular, round of the section tournament. You have made state, but it's a little bit different maybe early on the year where you're trying to mold the team, figure out, like you said here, Matt, what works, what doesn't work. How do we get a little bit better week to week? Where some years, what you have, it's boom, it's hit the ground running and let's pick up some wins. How does this year's version of Eagle football maybe translate from what you've done in prior years? Because some of these guys have been on the roster, they've been on the sidelines, they've seen their cousins, they've seen your brothers play. But do you have a certain trait that you like about this year's team, as you mentioned earlier, not giving up to get to this point of the year where maybe a lot of people in the sections thought, hey, only 2 wins in the regular season, we might not see New York Mills football here in this section title?
Well, I think that's true. Like you said at the end, I don't think many people expect us to be in this spot. And we kind of have a mantra. We started out with playoffs. We said, "Why not us?" That's kind of been our saying. And we say that every day. Why not us? Why not us? And it's kind of caught on. And obviously when you win a couple games, it catches on better. But at the same time, it's, why not us? But probably I think the biggest thing is that, just looking back, we lost 13 seniors last year off our team last year. And we were upset probably in the playoffs. Our kids were a little bit down on that. And, so we did have growing pains this year. We, moved guys around in different spots. Also some guys that, never had an opportunity to maybe have quality big time minutes have been thrown into the spotlight. So they had a kind of a time to adjust and readjust, I guess, in the second phase because, all of a sudden now it's their time. So sometimes that can be hard to do too at the same time when you get a group out there. So, we have kind of, I think, readjusted and kind of reprioritized and done a nice job with that. And obviously had some success with it. And hopefully we can keep that going on Friday against Parkers.
Yeah. As we get ready here for this football contest here from the Fargo Dome, I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes. Thanks so much for tuning in to high school football here today between the New York Mills Eagles and the Parkers Prairie Panthers here. 8-2 are the Panthers, while New York Mills, the Eagles, are 4-6. The last time these two teams met was on September the 15th. Parkers Prairie picked up a 39-0 win at Parker's Prairie. New York Mills won the opening coin toss and elected to defer as we get ready for kickoff here on a Friday afternoon at 12:34. It's an end-over-end kick here. Parker's Prairie will handle the football. They fake the end around to the near sideline. Goes the Panthers to about the 30-yard line and tiptoes to about the 33 for a kickoff return of about 15-yard line. Shane Hansen, the junior corner, in on the kickoff return here for Parker's Prairie on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. We'll start with the Parker's Prairie Panthers head coach Mike Johnson, looking for their first section championship since 2003, averaging 30 points per game while defensively giving up just under 11 points per contest here for the Panthers. Devin Ager is the center, guards of Seth Sanis and Zach Murnack, tackles of Jackson Hubbing and Caden Leininger here for the offensive line. Parker's Prairie moving left to right or from the south to the north end zone. They'll see a four-man front play action here for Naska. Naska rolls, has a man open down the field coming across, and that's going to be off the fingertip stretch hands here for Parker's Prairie. They had a man down the field, and Nolan Steidel just unable to put the football right on him stride for stride. New York Mills catches a break, and Naska will love to have that one back. Naska, the 6'1 senior, 195 pounds. They don't throw it often, but when they do, they have success. 64 completions on 99 attempts for 829 yards. So when they throw, they're looking for plays like that that are big 15 to 20-plus yard plays here for the Panthers. They will come out again. This time going to run the football. Little counter action going to the outside. That's Basil to the numbers 40. Little shake and bake first down into the 50-yard line. He takes a pop there by New York Mills. Mason, the 5'8 junior, with 1,100-plus yards here on the season. Add to that total with a 19-yard rushing gain. A lot of eye candy in the backfield. You fake the fullback dive, then all of a sudden you come a little bit on a counter play here for the junior Basil. Also, David Revering here at running back, a senior at 5'10". Joe Johnson, the fullback, and DeBillison rounds at the tight end spot. And as we mentioned earlier, you're going to have Steidel on the outside a little bit as well. We'll get to New York Mills starters defensively after this play. Handoff, this one going for Parker's Prairie, cutting up back inside as the Panthers able to make their way to about the 43-yard line. As Revering, the senior, gets his 96th carry of the season. It'll be a 6-yard gain. New York Mills up front will have senior defensive end in William Seam. Also, Carter Hudala, the defensive tackle. Bodie Roberts, a senior defensive tackle. And then Sam Kupviller here, the other defensive end. Something that Coach Matt Radnicki said about Sam, he brings a lot of confidence and stability to the New York Mills team this season. Another opportunity here, big throw down the field, going to be incomplete for Naska. That'll make it now third down and short. Linebackers of Joe Mann, Elijah Menzie, and Blake Unger, with corners of Finn Roeder, a sophomore and explosive player. You have Tegan Louston, Deshaun Robinson, and Braxton Einert here for the New York Mills defense. Third down and 4 for Parker's Prairie. 8-2 again on the season. Head coach by Mike Johnson. What do they drop here? Little wing tee offense. You got 7 offensive linemen here going under center is Naska. Naska handoff coming around. They got a little bit of edge, and look out here for the Panthers. The Panthers breaking tackles. There goes Revering to the 10, to the 5. Is he in? Does he fumble out of bounds? What are they going to say? You have the far off backside official. Then you have the line judge coming here, and they're going to mark the ball out at the 1-yard line. It'll be a 43-yard rush, and the Panthers were ever so close to maybe seeing that one go out of bounds and maybe being a touchback. But instead, it's going to be a 43-yard run. 2 carries now for 49 yards on the way here for the running back, and David Revering looking for his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, or his 11th, almost got it there. High school football, the state championship bracket will be officially slated coming up again next week with the state quarterfinals after everyone gets through their respective section championships. Naska QB keeper, he has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, this from 1 yard out, and the Panthers strike first here in our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. That was a tough one there for your New York Mills, right? Because where that football went out of bounds, you thought, hey, it might have been a touchback, but they marked it at the 1 yard line, taking the opening drive here for Parker's Prairie. They're able to go down the field, starting at their own 33-yard line, and now they'll be the 2-point conversion at one hops into the backfield here. Revering has nowhere to go, and New York Mills does give up 6, but they don't give up 8. Mills will have the football when we come back after this.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Christian Motors is proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
Now for Parker's Prairie, able to go down the field. That started at their own 33-yard line. They take 80 seconds off the clock. A 1-yard rushing touchdown by Nasca. That's been the difference right now as this one is put on the tee. A little wobbler that goes all the way back to the New York Mills 27-yard line. And the Eagles get a nice return to about midfield here as they were able to get up there with the sophomore in Finn Roeder to about the 43-yard line. So New York Mills will have their first possession of the contest here from the Forgedome at their own 43-yard line. Winner of this section championship 6A title will go up against the winner of last night's section 8A title where Mahnomen-Waban defeated Ada Borup West 16-14. That game will be a week from tonight on Veterans Evening on November the 10th at 7 p.m. in Brainerd. New York Mills will come out with Finn Roeder, the sophomore quarterback. He'll pitch it to the near sideline here for the Eagles as Louston will handle it past the 45 to about the 46-yard line. While for Parker's Prairie making a tackle is Went Chavis, the junior safety, coming down and making a stick. New York Mills up front, the center, and Blake Unger, who's a junior. Will Sem, a right guard senior, with Bodie Roberts, a 3-year starter at left guard. The left tackle of Sam Cupfielder here, a 2-year starter, and Grady Roberts at right tackle. One wide receiver split on either side. The Panthers will send 5 men to the line. QB keeper here for Roeder. Roeder gets into Parker's Prairie territory and spins his way to about the 47-yard line. We'll see if he gets enough for the first as he's right at the sticks, and they will give him the 7+ yard run. Tight end of the junior Joe Mann with wide receivers of Isaac Kaluski and Deshaun Robinson. Hunter Bossman, the junior tailback, with Tegan Louston also in the backfield here for the Eagles. Parker's Prairie plays a 3-4-4 defense. Caden Leininger, the defensive end spot, with Trevor Rounds and Joseph Johnson here, a sophomore, junior, and a senior, with Caden being the elder statesman. Maryland I formation here, handoff. That's going to bounce the right-hand side to Louston. Louston spins his way past the 45 to the 43-yard line for a gain of 4. 2 carries now for 7 yards for Louston. Parker's Prairie will handle linebackers of Nolan Steidel, Mason Basil, Evan Lenzen, and then Zachary Murnack. Murnack comes into today with 100 tackles in 10 games this season for Parker's Prairie. Not too shabby. Linebackers, again, of Murnack, Lenzen, Basil, and Steidel. Will get to the secondary after this play. Second down upcoming here for New York Mills. Under center goes Finn Roeder. Roeder pitch right-hand side, that's Louston. Louston looks to get to the boundary, does, puts the shoulder pad down and taking Panthers with them past the 38, maybe to the 37, and they get enough to the gain of 7 yards. Secondary play here of the Panthers of Shane Hansen, also with Ben Wagner, Went, and Revering. That's David at the safety spot. One thing that Coach Radnicki said about this New York Mills team early, that they kind of midway through the season just went back to old-fashioned I formation style of football from what they were doing earlier in the year, and it's proved evidence here as they scored 35 and 26 points in their 2 games in the section postseason so far, 61 total in 2 games, and right now they're getting a heavy dose of runs right up Broadway with another good-looking run here. That's Joe Mann. So 3 different Eagles so far have touched the ball here. Everything has been on the ground for New York Mills. Makes it now 2nd down and a short 1 coming up at the 27-yard line. This drive started back at their own 43-yard line. Has chewed up over 2 minutes and 15 seconds and counting off the clock. And this New York Mills team right now just kind of saying, hey, we're going to run between the tackles. We'll stretch it out when we can. Try to stop it here for Parker's Prairie. Parker's Prairie, again, only giving up 10.9 points per contest. They've only given up 22 so far in 2 section postseason games. QB keeper here for Roeder gets enough for the first for a gain of 2. 2 carries for 9 yards here for New York Mills. Other contests here in Class A, Section 1, Fillmore Central going up against Kenyon Winnebago. That'll be at 7 o'clock in Rochester. Section 2A, Mayor Lutheran goes up against Lester Prairie. That'll be in New Prague later tonight. Sleepy Eye in 3A tangles with Springfield Marshall. That'll be again in Section 3A here. 1st and 10 for New York Mills. Ball spotted at the Panthers' 25-yard line. Under center again goes the sophomore and Roeder. Handoff, right-hand side goes Louston. Louston trucking and bringing a Panther with him inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Coming down was Wentz, trying to make that stick also with Wagner. And just a nice little hit and impact there by Tegan Louston to get an extra couple of yards on the rush. So far, it's been the offenses that have shown up well. If you're just joining us, Parker's Prairie wasted very little time. 6 plays into the end zone with a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Conan Naska. Since then, New York Mills has done a good job playing a little keep away here, so we're getting close to the midway point of this first quarter, and it's been a well-sustained drive here for the Eagles. They will come out again in that little broken eye formation. Under center goes Finn Roeder. Pitch near sideline. That's Louston. Louston gets tackled at the 20-yard line. That's about the best defensive play we've seen from Parker's Prairie here on this Friday afternoon. They were able to come out to the outside, come down and make the stick here for the Panthers, and Mason Basil, the junior tackle or outside linebacker here. That'll be a loss of 1. 3rd down upcoming here for the Eagles. 2 plays to try to get to that 15-plus territory. Maryland I formation as Louston dots the I. Panthers with 7 men, almost 8 men now in the box. Roeder under center. Handoff delayed, goes to Louston, who gets to 15, all the way down to the 13-yard line. The middle of the field just opened up there. That was an easy rush for Louston. I give a lot of credit to Unger, Roberts, and Sem, the center and guards, opening up a little bit of a lane. 6 carries for 25 yards now for Louston, and the New York Mills Eagles trying to answer an opening touchdown by Parker's Prairie with an opening touchdown of their own if they can put it in the end zone here. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 14. Louston again in the backfield. Under center goes Roeder. QB keeper here for Finn. You had a little motion there for Louston, and all of a sudden everyone was looking at the tailback, and Finn just slithers his way past the 10 to that 7-yard line for a gain of 7. 3 carries for 16 yards. That's kind of like option football. If you're not going to stop the fullback dive, it could be a long day for a defense. And if Finn Roeder can get 5 to 7 yards on a QB keeper, you bet Coach Radnicki here for the New York Mills Eagles will continue to go for it with that particular play throughout the contest. 2nd down and short, ball at the 7. They will need the 4-yard line for the first. Louston tries to make his way to the outside, and the Parker's Prairie Panthers get a good stick to about the 6-yard line. Coming up underneath here for Parker's Prairie is going to be Nolan Steidel, able to limit that to about a 1-yard gain. Linebackers have been flying around. We've said Mason's name, Steidel's name already here for the Parker's Prairie defense. 3rd down and 2 here for the Eagles. They'll need the 4 from the first down. Maryland I yet again. Louston dots the I. 1 wide receiver left and right for New York Mills with Robinson lining up on the far side. Handoff. Louston trying to break a tackle, and a great stand here by the Parker's Prairie defense. David Revering, the 5'10 senior safety, came in, held onto his left ankle, and had the defense come with him to make it a 4th down and 2. If Louston is able to break that tackle, he might have got the first down, if not the end zone. But a really good job by David Revering here to come down at that secondary spot, make a hit right at the line, and try to make it enough. And for Coach Radnicki, here we see if we might call his first timeout of the contest. This drive again started at the 10:35 mark at their own 43-yard line. They have taken 7 minutes off the clock, and we'll have New York Mills taking their first timeout here of the first quarter. We'll be with them when we come back. 4th and 2 at the Parker's Prairie 6 when we return.
Performance Ag west of Borup is locally owned and operated and ready to serve the area farmer. They offer these products for the upcoming season: seed, chemicals, dry and liquid fertilizer, and application services. When we're talking seed from Performance Ag, they'll provide growers with corn, soybean, sunflower, small grain, sugar beet, or other seed that you plant on your farm. Thank you for your business from Performance Ag west of Borup.
Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here from the Fargo. It's the Section 6A football championship game between the Eagles and the Panthers here on YourLiveEvent.com. So far for New York Mills, this will be play number 13 of the drive, and it's kind of been death by 1,000 paper cuts, if you will. They haven't had a play that has gone over 10 yards. It's been 2 yards here, 7 yards there, 8 yards here, and if you're going to do that, you're going to really shrink the game so your defense doesn't have to try to contend with the high-octane offense like Parker's Prairie, but also try to keep your team in it through 48 minutes of play. The Eagles at 4-6. They've been a powerhouse, though, in this section and in this class in Minnesota as of late. 4th and 2 after the timeout. Roeder goes under center. Motion man. They'll hand it off. Louston gets the 5, spins his way to the 4. He might have got enough on the spin. He got stuck right in the A-gap at the 5, but he spun his way to the 4. He needed 2 yards, and we'll see what they're going to give him, and the white hat says it's enough for the first down. 9 carries for 26 yards. 1st and goal, New York Mills. What a play there by the senior Tegan Louston, as again it just looked like he was not going to be able to get in. Good pursuit by Parker's Prairie, but just couldn't wrap him up enough before he spun out of that tackle and got an extra yard. Finn keeps it. QB keeper gets a little push from the fullback. Touchdown, Eagles. A 4-yard scamper for the sophomore Finn Roeder into the end zone, and New York Mills has tied things up. Give credit to Braxton Enert. Kind of pushed him in like the Reggie Bush push of Matt Leinert there at about the 2-yard line for a 4-yard scamper. 4 carries, 10 yards, and a touchdown, and the Eagles will try to take their first lead on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Point after attempt upcoming here for Deshaun Robinson. And we'll have a late flag, and this will be with too many men when they broke the huddle. So now the point after attempt will go from 20 yards to 25 yards. This will be our first penalty of the contest for either squad. Still to come here from the Fargo later today. Osakis goes up against Staples Motley next in the Section 6 AA Championship. Here on Your Live Event, we will have games of Pelican Rapids going up against Burnsville, and then Morris area going up against DGF. Here's the right-footed end-over-end kick, and that is no good. The PAT is no good by Robinson, and we're knotted at 6. Parker's Prairie takes a touchdown on their opening drive, matched by New York Mills. We're back with kickoff from the Dome after this.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
As the seasons change, now is the time for the indoor projects with the help of Ada Building Center, LLC. Now's the time to get contractors scheduled for indoor projects and home improvements. Ada Building Center, LLC will provide the products you need. Flooring with several new styles to choose from, trim, cabinets, doors, and more. Enhance your home with indoor remodel and home improvement products from Ada Building Center, LLC, Highway 200, East Edge, Ada.
For the New York Mills Eagles, able to have a 14-play, 7-minute, 32-second drive that amasses 57 yards, capped off by the 4-yard rushing touchdown of the sophomore in Finn Roeder. Ball's going to be put on the tee here for New York Mills, and Braxton Enert end over end kick that's going to spin its way to about the 17-yard line. For Parkhurst Prairie, keeping this one is Shane Hansen. Hansen gets out of one tackle, trying to get out of a second, but not going to get out of a third. As the Eagles on the outside coming in on the tackle, William Seam. Also with him is Elijah Menzie. And Parkhurst Prairie, they didn't waste very little time. They had some big gashing plays and a chance at a deep play down the field, incomplete, and some big open runs. So far it's been an offensive showdown, a little tortoise and the hare, if you will, in that opening possession for both teams. Parkhurst Prairie, second possession of this contest. So be at their own 20-yard line as they will come out here back under center with Nashka under center. Little stretch sweep. This will be to the outside here with Basil. Basil gets the numbers, has blockers in front of him. Look out down to the 35. Little stoop and a tackle down to the 17. Able to stop at about the 35-yard line and pick up a couple of extra yards on top of it. And there's a 17-yard rush. 2 carries for 36 yards, and it goes back to what the New York Mills head coach and Matt Radnicki said. He said, Mason Basil, number 10. He wasn't sure what the name was, but he goes, when watching film, number 10, he just gets a ton of long-distance plays. 83 attempts on the season for 1,122 yards. So when he touches the ball, it's 10, 15, 20 yards on the ground here for Parkhurst Prairie. Little trap play coming here for Basil, and this time the Eagles do a better job swarming to the football for a 2-yard tackle. Carter Hudla comes in on the tackle, but Mason gets 2 yards on the rush, 3 carries for 38 yards. More high school football again tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com with the Section 8AA and 8AAA title games. Joel Ansello, Joey Hughes will be with you here from the Fargodome. Then make sure you tune into our radio stations of KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ-FM for some section into the state quarterfinals coming up next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, here for some more coverage. Pass, Nashka finds his man at the 46-yard line, as that'll be to the outside. Dylan, the 5'8" senior, comes in with the reception. A nice-looking play there for about 7 yards. The Bills able to get 7 yards on the pitch and catch. That'll be the first reception of this contest for either team. New York Mills, by the way, 14 plays, not once went to drop back a pass. Not one time did they look to throw the football in that opening drive. But right now, Parkhurst Prairie, the Panthers, looking to regain the lead here on their second drive of the game with 60 seconds left in this first quarter. Panthers come out in that wing T formation. We'll see if the Eagles are going to blitz. There's a hard count. Nashka got him to jump for a free first down. Ashton Lehman was coming in. That'll be a free first down here. And New York Mills will have their second penalty of 10 yards. The first one hurt because it made the PAT go from 20 to 25, a little bit different. Not to say that Deshaun Robinson doesn't have the leg to kick him from 25, 30 yards, but it just mentally is something different after a penalty. Also kind of freezes the kicker having to, went to the 20, having to come back to the 25. But right now, Parkhurst Prairie, the Panthers, knocking on the door yet again, right back in Eagle territory. Little stop and go, throwing it down the field. This one is going to be it's hauled in. It's hauled in. The Panthers bring it in. What a play on the outside here for Parkhurst Prairie, and Ben Wagner, the 6'3" junior, had to use all of that frame to haul that one in for a gain of 33 yards. From where we had it, The defensive back here for New York Mills looked like he was going to get his hand on the football enough and bat that ball away, but Wagner ripped it down for a gain of 33, and Parker's Prairie, as we mentioned, they're getting some gashing plays on offense with Nashka under center. Basel, jet sweep opportunity, and that's going nowhere. Getting thrown down like a rag doll. The senior, Bodie Robertson, on a tackle for a loss. Well, Roberts was sick and tired of us saying Basel just gets big chunk plays. That's a 5-yard loss, make it a 6-yard loss to end this very entertaining Section 6A opening quarter title game. It's New York Mills and Parker's Prairie tied at 6 on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
I've always been more so of a caring person, I'd say. I don't know, the care aspect and being able to make a difference in their life and help them to have as normal of a life as they can. Whenever I provide care for them, I always try to go above and beyond. I'm like, do you need anything else? Like, can I help you do this while I'm here? And I take care of all these wonderful residents, and it's really nice having such awesome residents here. I would definitely recommend a career at Benedictine of Beta.
Well, what's at stake for both teams here today from the Fargo? Parker's Prairie last section title was in 2003. While for the opposite side for New York Mills, the Eagles, they fell short of the section championship last year going 8-2, but 2 years ago they lost to Mayor Lutheran in the state semifinals. So that's a program who's been there, done that in their own right for the Eagles. Parker's Prairie with the football, little fullback trap play. Here goes Revering with it. Check that, that's going to be Johnson. Joe Johnson, the 5'11 junior, able to get about a yard back. That's it for his first rush of the contest. Well, that 6-yard tackle for a loss. You hear coaches say play on schedule, play above the chains, and it's the first time, albeit it's just their second drive, that Parker's Prairie had a really big negative play to see what they can do here for a 3rd and again 15. They'll need to get to about the 6-yard line for the first. One wide receiver motion out near sideline. The Bills in. Under center is Naska. Naska rolling the pocket right-hand side. They split up the screen. The Bills-in's going to get decked at the 20-yard line. New York Mills, Deshaun Robinson, the senior, read that beautifully. It was 1 white jersey against 3 maroon jerseys. If Deshaun doesn't make that tackle, that could have been a house call. That might be our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game right there. If New York Mills can make a stand and somehow make the football go the other way. That was a hard stick as well by Deshaun Robinson. Textbook tackle out in open space. Parker's Prairie, 4th down upcoming here. Play clock not a single digits at 5 and counting, as they will go under center again with Conan. Nashka looking, firing down the middle. It's complete at the 7-yard line, but is it enough for the first? It's complete at the 7-yard line here for Parker's Prairie to the outside. Mason Basil. And where they have the chains, it does not look from our advantage point that it's going to be enough for a first. It will not. 14 yards. They needed a 15.5. They do not get it. Basil, first reception of the game for 14 yards, but it'll be a turnover on downs, and the Eagles' defense makes a stand. New York Mills now will handle the football with 10:31 left to play in the quarter. This will be back nearly on their own shadow of their own end zone. The Eagles opening drive again, 57 yards, 14 plays, 7 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock. If they do that this drive, we might be talking about half. One wide receiver split up both left and right as Roeder goes under center, and we got a flag. We'll see the flag coming up here. And this one will be on Parker's Prairie, which will have a neutral zone infraction on the Panthers. Taking a look at Parker's Prairie. Last season, 3-6 overall in Section 4A. 2 years ago, went 1-8. Last section title game they played was in 2016, losing to Browerville Eagle Valley 21-14. New York Mills handoff. Louston able to get to the hash mark. Louston trying to make a stick, unable to do so to the outside. And I got to tell you what, we've seen some good open field tackling by both teams here today. Give another open field tackle to Chavis Went, the 6'1 junior, coming down the line and making a 2nd and 5. Once you get to this point of the season, though, in Minnesota, you either are where New York Mills is at 4-6, you're playing your best football, and you feel like you can make some even more noise, or where Parker's Prairie is, you've been really solid throughout the entirety of this season, 8 wins and 2 losses, and you earned your right to be here in their own respect. Roeder, little counter trap play to the outside here for the Eagles. That's going to go nowhere. New York Mills didn't have anywhere to go there with Joseph Mann as the defensive end of Parker's Prairie was able to stay there, and then Mason Basil just finished him off for a tackle of a 2-yard loss. So Mann now 2 carries for 6 yards and brings up a 3rd down upcoming. New York Mills with 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Parker's Prairie has 3. New York Mills will get the ball to start the second half of playing a contest that's just over a half hour old from the Fargodome. Might this be the first pass of the game for the Eagles? Finn Roeder in the pistol, looking, the lefty, pump fakes, rolls. Now trying to escape a tackle for a loss and somehow gets back to the original line of scrimmage. For Parker's Prairie, coming in on the tackle, going to be Went yet again, as Finn was able to get back to the original line, and that was it. 5 carries now for 10 yards. And for New York Mills, they will have to come on and punt this football away. Braxton Enertz will do the honors here for the Eagles. Winner of this game will head a week from tonight to Brainerd to go up against Mahnomen Waban, who upended Ada Borup West 16-14 in the Section 8A championship last night here from the Fargodome. Right-footed kick is a end-over-end kick that's going to go out of bounds at about the 30, maybe the 25-yard line, end over end, but off the side of the foot there of Braxton. And where does the official spot it? Ball was on the 11, and he's going to keep on walking all the way to the 27-yard line. So a 16-yard punt, and Parker's Prairie will have their best starting field position of the contest. And for the first time today, one team will start in the others plus territory. Parker's Prairie, touchdown and down so far in their 2 drives. For New York Mills, a touchdown and a punt. Nasca under center. This one coming through here for the Panthers. Basil going to get met at about the 23-yard line. Deshaun Robinson in on the tackle here for New York Mills. It's about a gain of 5, but Parker's Prairie with a healthy 5 yards on the first down rush. 5 carries now for 37 yards here for Mason. 1 wide receiver split out right-hand side for Parker's Prairie. That's Ben Wagner. A little broken wing tee again for Conan Nasca here, the 6'1 senior at a $195. Play action, rolling, has some time firing, looking for Wagner in the end zone. Wagner incomplete. Finn Roeder in on the coverage. Wagner just kind of had to look up in the lights, spin a little bit for that football, and that's going to be incomplete. But Nasca put a really good ball out there, gave his wide receiver an opportunity at that one. Nasca now 4 of 7 through the air for 54 yards, completions of 7, 33, 0, and 14. Clock stops with 7:34 left to play in a very entertaining opening half here from the Fargodome. Still 3 more football games yet to be played here today. 2 of them right here on yourliveevent.com. Nasca goes under center. Fullback trap play coming. Here goes Joe Johnson. Johnson past the 15, has the first down to the 10, and he's rumbling his way to a 1st and goal. 12 yards on the rush here for Johnson. 2 carries for 13 yards. And we'll see if it's a 1st and goal or if it's a 1st and 10, because the ball is spotted right at the 10-yard line here. And where they're stretching it, they're going to say it is a first and goal opportunity here for Parker's Prairie. One wide receiver again in Wagner to the right-hand side. New York Mills, 4 down linemen. Noska, nice little end-around reverse coming here. Rumbling his way there is Revering to about the 5 and 3 yard line. There is a late flag at the 9. We'll see what the penalty is on. You have a sweep, come back with a little counter reverse. And now all of a sudden, a first and goal from the 10 went to a second and goal at the 4, barring the penalty. Win or go home, that's what this time this season is in Minnesota postseason football. Last penalty will be on Parker's Prairie, and we'll have a hold. Panthers will have their second penalty of the contest. This for 15 yards. New York Mills with 2 penalties for 10 yards in their own right. High school football, if you missed the Mahnomen-Waban and the Edelborg West football section title game last night, you can check it out for free on demand by going to yourliveevent.com or simply subscribe to our YouTube page and check it out there. Noska, play action, getting pressured, gets the ball off. It's a duck in the air, incomplete. Noska was looking for a deep post pattern. He got hit, and then all of a sudden New York Mills had a chance at it with Braxton Inert at about the 10-yard line. Makes it now 2nd and 10. Check that 2nd and 20 upcoming here for Parker's Prairie. Well, Parker's Prairie, they've hurt themselves a couple of times on this drive, a tackle for a loss. Now all of a sudden you see this 10-yard penalty. Can the Panthers overcome it, though, and try to get into the end zone, or will the Eagles defense stand yet again here deep in their own territory? New York Mills with a good-looking tackle on the outside here by Joe Mann, as the Panthers were able to get to the 16-yard line with a Revering out in the flat catch for 4 yards. 58 yards passing now for Noska. Revering with his first reception of the game, but essentially here for the Panthers, you got 3 downs from the 20, so you get 4 yards here. Try to get another healthy gain if you can and make 4th and goal very manageable. Or you have Noska again, who is 11 of 16 on PATs on the season, maybe have a chance. But before we get to any of that, we have a timeout here for New York Mills. It'll be their second one of the first half on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, tied at 6. It's the Section 6A How Apropos title game on the Fan.
Lakes Community Co-op takes pride in providing complete customer satisfaction as they serve their local communities with the necessary products and services for farms, businesses, and individuals. Energy solutions, feed, milk, C-stores, meat market, motel, car wash, HVAC, natural gas. Visit your neighborhood Lakes Community Co-op location for them to meet your needs or learn more at lakescommunitycoop.com.
High school football here on yourliveevent.com. Parker's Prairie 6, New York Mills 6. Thanks so much for tuning in. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here. The second time out by New York Mills defensively. Last time they got to a similar part here for Parker's Prairie, they went for it on 4th and 16 at about the 21-yard line. They needed to get to about that 6.5 to 5-yard line. They got 14 of the yards, not enough to get the first, and New York Mills defense will try to build that wall one more time here against this Panthers offense. Parker's Prairie, 8 wins, 2 losses, trying to get to win number 9 on the year. New York Mills at 4-6, trying to get to 5-6 with a W. Noska under center. And this one is going to be a delayed little end around here for Revering, and Revering's going to get tackled for a loss for 2. New York Mills did a good job just waiting on the outside, staying home. Finn Roeder, one of the Eagles, to make the tackle for a loss of 2 yards. Well, now it's 4th and goal from about the 19-yard line. Parker's Prairie will need the end zone or need a New York Mills penalty to keep this drive alive if they're unable to put it in for 6. Wagner stands on the outside here. We've already saw him come down with a big reception today at 6'3". Noska under center. Takes a deep drop, rolls the pocket, right-hand side, fires, throws. This one's going to be caught, and it's going to be short of the end zone by about a yard, and it'll be a turnover on downs. What a stick on the outside here for Parker's Prairie. That's Finn Roeder after the reception coming here for Parker's Prairie to Mason Basil. Ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line, 17 yards, but they can't get 19. Roeder makes the stick. Basil with the reception. It almost feels like the previous possession where Basil had a 14-yard reception. He needed 16 for the first. He was 2 yards shy. He needed 19 for the first. He was 2 yards shy this time. New York Mills defense building the great wall back there. But now they're literally on the shadow of their own end zone. Louston able to maybe get a yard or two to bring the pile to about the 4-yard line. For New York Mills, they will not be in any hurry either. And they get the ball to start the second half, but we have a Panther lineman who is injured on the field. We will break as well here on YourLiveEvent.com. It's tied at 6 apiece.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
High school football here on YourLiveEvent.com. Parker's Prairie. This will be a tough blow here for the Panthers, as coming out not putting too much pressure on that ankle is Joseph Johnson, the 5'11", 185-pound junior here for the Panthers. Part of that fullback spot and also part of that defensive tackle spot here for Parker's Prairie. As we'll get the new replacement in here after the play. Handoff, Louston. Actually, it's going to be Roeder on a QB keeper. Look out with some room. And Finn matriculating his way past the 20 all the way to the 22-yard line. That's the longest play from scrimmage of the game here for the New York Mills Eagles of 18 yards. 6 penalties now for 6 rushes for 28 yards here for Roeder. Parker's Prairie coming in now and playing for Johnson is going to be Mason Schultz, the 5'9" senior at 220 pounds. Well, New York Mills at least did the first thing they needed to do on that drive offensively. That's get a first down. Now can they answer to that with Louston? Good open field tackle yet again here for the Panthers. Chavis Wentz just been flying all over this football field. It's going to be a 2nd down and 7. Louston 12 carries for 31 yards. Start looking at the clock here. Eagles again with 1 timeout remaining. Parker's Prairie, they have 3. If you're the Eagles, even if you don't score on this drive, you'd like to bleed the rest of the clock out so the Panthers don't have a chance to get the ball back offensively, because we have seen some big plays by Parker's Prairie. They just haven't been able to finish in the end zone outside of one time here today. Louston trying to get to the edge, gets popped right at the seam here at about the 28-yard line, but again, a couple of yards here for the Eagles, and it's almost like option football. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You'll take another 30 to 40 seconds off the clock and make it a 3rd down and manageable. Going to be 3rd and a long 4. Parker's Prairie fans starting to make some noise here, understanding the situation. You make a stand here, you can get the ball back with maybe 2:45, 2:30 left on the clock, Barney, if it's a pass or throw, but Finn Roeder has yet to throw the ball once. He went to have a actual pass, and he kept it on a scramble. 3rd down, Roeder, QB keeper, right up Broadway. Oh, like a Sunday stroll. Roeder with the 1st down. Give credit to Unger, Roberts, and Seam yet again. Those big hog mollies up front paving the way for a gain of 11. 7 carries for 49 yards, and I can see why Coach Radnicki mentioned in our pregame show that Finn Roeder, he provides the juice. He's an explosive player, just naturally gifted, is what Matt was saying, and you can kind of see why here so far on this Friday afternoon. Winner advances to the state quarterfinals coming up a week from today. Louston, handoff, able to get it past the 45, puts the helmet down for a healthy gain. here for New York Mills. Shane Hansen in on the tackle, but not before Louston gets a gain of 8. Well, now all of a sudden, if you're the Eagles, you start looking up and you wonder how much more do you want to have to kind of boot, scoot, and boogie here with only one timeout remaining once we get to this 2-minute mark on drives that have really been sustainable here for the Eagles. But again, their longest play from scrimmage is 18 yards. One wide receiver split out left and right. The Panthers with 5 down linemen. Finn Roeder keeps it, gets to the boundary, tries to make a cut, and the Panthers then again with Went on the outside coming in to make the tackle. Went and Hansen have been all over the field here this afternoon for Parker's Prairie. But we do have a penalty on the far side. This might be a face mask or possibly a hold where that penalty was at the very end. We'll send it down to our white hat as they're talking over with the head coach for Parker's Prairie here, Matt Johnson, of what he wants. And this penalty will be on New York Mills for the hold. Third penalty now for 20 yards. Stay tuned to our halftime show. We'll take a look at the first half numbers. First half recap. Let you know what's still to come here today on yourliveevent.com. That and more all to come on our halftime show here from the Forum. New York Mills, 6 points in the first quarter. Parker's Prairie with 6 points in the first quarter as well. Since then, it's been a stalemate. Parker's Prairie has had the better opportunities to try to put it in the end zone. Their last 2 times just came 2 yards shy of a first down on a fourth and 2 yards shy of the goal line on a 4th and goal from the 16. We'll see where they put the clock here, whether it's the play clock or the game clock. Play clock now reset to 25. The game clock here is at 1:34. They'll have to talk it back over and see where it was. Again, we were talking about that 2-minute mark roughly when that penalty occurred as the clock continued to wind, and we'll see where they're going to put 1:49, so they'll put another 15 seconds back on the clock here for New York Mills. Second down upcoming here for the Eagles. Second and a long 12. They haven't been behind the change too much here today. A little fullback trap play, and that's going nowhere. Brings up 3rd and now 11 as the Eagles were trying that fullback play on that little option there for Braxton Einert. It'll be his first carry of the game. And now it's going to be 3rd and 12 yet again. But for the Eagles, you can kill this all the way to about a minute before you have to snap the football. As they will go one wide receiver again, both to the right and left. Robinson to the near sideline. Finn Roeder under center. Roeder, play action, rolling, looking, slips it up to left-hand side, and the Eagles getting decked on the outside after the catch there was Einert. What a play on the interior here by Parker's Prairie. As Wentz, again, will come in on that particular defensive play. Finn Roeder will have his first completion of the game, but that'll go for actually a loss of a couple of yards. And for the Eagles, they might take their final timeout here to take it all the way to about 25 on the game clock before they have to punt this football away. There's a timeout. We'll break with them. We'll have the final 26 seconds of the first half when we return after this here on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at Enbridge.com.
Welcome to the New York Mills School, where the pursuit of knowledge meets the journey to success. Our institution is a beacon of excellence, fostering a dynamic learning environment for every student. New York Mills School takes pride in shaping well-rounded individuals, equipping them with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. Join us in the pursuit of academic excellence. Enroll at New York Mills School today and unlock a world of possibilities for your child's future.
New York Mills will have to punt this football off. High snap. Braxton Enert, though, able to come down and put a good boot to this one. Takes a eagle roll past the 35 into Panther territory. Still rolling to about the 25-yard line. So a punt of 40 yards upcoming here for New York Mills. So all of a sudden, if you're Parker's Prairie right now, you look at this and you say, okay, we've had big plays, but maybe you give one slip screen. Maybe you try to throw it down the field to the 6'3 Wagner. You got 3 timeouts. The playbook's open. Or you just run a play here with like a Basil that we've seen and then get to the half. New York Mills right now, if you're an Eagles fan, you love this score. 6-6. You've made a couple defensive stands. If you're Parker's Prairie, you feel like you maybe left 6 points, if not 12, maybe on the scoreboard right now from the Panthers' point of view. But regardless, it's a 6-all contest. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Fullback trap play coming here for Parker's Prairie. They're making their way for about a stick of about 5 yards. Don't see a timeout coming here. And the Panthers will get the rush on that play to end the end of this first half. Zachary Ruckheim, the sophomore, comes in for a gain of, again, 5 yards. After 24 minutes from the Fargodome, it's New York Mills 6, Parker's Prairie 6 on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. We're back with our halftime show. That's coming up next.
Kyle Larson here for Franson Bank and Trust. We are a Farmer Mac approved lender that can offer operating lines of credit, land, equipment, and facility financing. Our lending experts understand the farm economy and climate in and around the Ada area. With a fast underwriting process and local decision making, you can save time on all farming and ag-related inquiries. Contact our Ada office today to learn more. Franson Bank and Trust, real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Mother Nature can strike at any time, and Irie Insurance is here to help. Experience the difference with Irie. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve. Home insurance, auto insurance, crop insurance, commercial insurance, benefits insurance. We have you covered from head to toe, underground to sky. Go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote.
Here at the half on the Fargodome on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, it's New York Mills 6, Parker's Prairie 6 here on YourLiveEvent.com. A reminder still to come here later tonight on YourLiveEvent.com. Joe Lancella will have the call of Pelican Rapids and Barnesville in the Section 8 AA title game. Also, Morris area going up against DGF. That'll be in the Section 8 AAA title games here on YourLiveEvent.com. Parker's Prairie, the Panthers, and the New York Mills Eagles. Here's a look at the scoring recap. It'll be short and quick, kind of like this game so far. Nashka with a 1-yard rushing touchdown. 2-point conversion was no good. The Panthers held a 6-0 lead. 10:40 into the contest, 80 seconds. They were able to go down the field. The big play that they were able to scamper was a revering 43-yard rush, and he was down at the 1-yard line. The ball popped out. They said it was out of bounds at the 1, not in the end zone. One play later, the quarterback keeper here for Conan Nashka with a 1-yard rushing touchdown. New York Mills would answer a 14-play, 7-minute, 32-yard drive that amassed 57 yards of offense. The New York Mills Eagles would have a rushing touchdown of Finn Roeder, the quarterback keeper, from 4 yards out. The point after attempt was no good. And that's where we are right now at 6 apiece. Your drive chart looks like this for Parker's Prairie. The opening drive, that was able to go 67 yards in 80 seconds with a touchdown. Then turnover on downs. The downs was at the Eagles 6, 2 yards shy of a first. Then a turnover on downs at the Eagles 2 after a 4th and goal at the 16. And then they finished off with the half. Just 4 possessions for Parker's Prairie in an opening half. New York Mills, the Eagles, they only had 2, but the Eagles with a touchdown, punt, and then a punt. The big note here is for Parker's Prairie, Joe Johnson came off the field late in that first half. We did not see him come back, so we'll find out if his afternoon might be done here for Parker's Prairie. But we saw coming in defensively was Mason Schultz, and offensively was Zachary Ruckheim here for the Panthers. So that'll be a note to see what happens here later in this second half. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, individual and team numbers, that's next here from the Forum.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
Randall's Excavating of Glendon, specializing in underground site utilities and repair. Randall's Excavating is experienced in underground utilities, specializing in water lines, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer, from site preparation and trenching to the installation of all site utilities. They respond to emergency repairs for water leaks, fire protection lines, fire hydrants, sanitary and storm sewer lines for all commercial and residential needs, including camera inspections too. Contact Randall's Excavating with over 20 years of experience, 701-219-9126 or randallsinc.com.
Lakes Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, and businesses from Lakes Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Lakes Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Lakes Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Linforce Insurance Agency in your viewing area if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
At the half here on YourLiveEvent.com, New York Mills 6, Parker's Prairie 6. Let's take a look at some of the team and the individual numbers here in this one. We'll start first with Parker's Prairie, 170 yards of offense, 2 penalties for 15 yards, 0 turnovers so far for Parker's Prairie. They currently have 95 yards of offense here for the Panthers on rushing plays. Currently on the ground, 11 attempts for 75 yards, 95 yards again on the ground, 75 yards through the air. For the New York Mills Eagles, currently with 95 yards of total offense, they have 24 rushes for 97 yards and a -2 yards passing. 95 yards of total offense, again to 170 for Parker's Prairie. 3 penalties for 20 yards, 0 currently turnovers for the Eagles. Individual numbers go like this. Basil, 5 carries for 37 yards. Rev Rain has 3 carries for 44 yards. Johnson has 2 carries for 13 yards. And Nasca, 1 for a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Cohen Nasca through the air, 6 of 10 for 75 yards. A reception of 33 yards for Wagner. 2 catches for Basil for 31. DeBilzin has 2 for 7, and Rev Rain has 1 for 4. New York Mills so far on the ground. Louston has brought his lunch pail and some. 14 carries for 42 yards. Roeder, that's Finn, the first name, 7 carries for 49 yards. Mann has 2 for 6, and Heenert has 1 for 0. Finn Roeder, 1 pass for -2 yards here for the New York Mills Eagles. That again at the half, it's New York Mills 6, Parker's Prairie 6. When we come back, we'll let you know what the state tournament might look like when we return here from the Fargo. It's the Section 6A championship game on a Friday afternoon on your live event.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises is searching for candidates to fill multiple positions. These customer-facing positions require a high level of organization, workflow management skills, the ability to work with and lead others, problem-solving skills, and the drive to deliver an outstanding customer experience. Available positions include shop foreman and service technician. Compensation package based on experience. If interested in joining our team, upload your resume at planterdoc.com.
Rural Enrichment and Counseling Headquarters, also known as REACH, Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's their slogan, and it says it all. REACH is a multi-agency human service center that helps families and individuals with counseling, food services, and help and support during the holidays. Things such as the backpack program, food for kids during the weekend, and a holiday meal during Thanksgiving and Christmas are just a few of the things that REACH can do. Check them out at ruralenrichment.org or visit their secondhand stores in Holly and Hendrum.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Drs. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abasi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
As we continue here from the Fargo, let's take a look at what the state of Minnesota will look like here for some local area teams. Congratulations goes both out to Goodridge, Griglagatsky, and Fertile Beltrami as they will meet up in the 9-man state quarterfinals. That'll be on Thursday in Moorhead at 7 o'clock. Make sure you go to R&J Broadcasting for some more information throughout the weekend and into early part of next week as on KRJB, KRJM, KKCQ. We'll be following some of these area teams in the postseason. Follow our plans, and we'll make note of it both on our social media platforms, on the air, and more. The one team in Class A that knows that they're in the quarterfinals is Mahnomen-Waban with a 16-14 win over Ada Borup West. The Thunderbirds await the winner of this contest in Brainerd at 7 o'clock a week from today. Section 7, you have Deer River against Braham. In Section 5A, Minneota against Bold. Section 3A, Sleepy Eye against Springfield. That'll be in Marshall. Section 2A, Mayor Lutheran against Lester Prairie. That'll be at 7 o'clock in New Prague. And Section 1A, Fillmore Central goes up against Kenyon Winnebago. That'll be at 7 o'clock in Rochester. So that, again, is a look at the section titles across the state of Minnesota. At the half on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, New York Mills, the Eagles 6, trying to win their second section title since 2021. They won it in 2021 with 10-2 on the season, lost to Mayor Lutheran in the state semifinals. Last year got upset in the Section 6A semifinals. The Eagles, kind of more the Cinderella team this season with a mark of 4-6, looking to see if Midnight will strike or if Midnight will maybe hang on for a little bit longer as we do get an extra hour of sleep coming up this weekend. Can New York Mills continue that and stretch it out a little bit longer? Well, for Parker's Prairie, the Panthers, they're looking for their first section title since 2003. 2 years ago, the Panthers were 1-8. Last year, 3-6. You've seen this team continue to grow and mature. The seniors are getting better. We've seen it here today. Can the Panthers overcome here the New York Mills Eagles in the second half? We'll find out next when we return from the Fog Dome for second half action between the Eagles and the Panthers. It's the Section 6A title on your live event.
This is your livelihood, and success requires a seed partner that's just as committed as you are. Just like you, we're farmers first, so our values are rooted just as deep and our goals are just as strong. Our team is ready to hit your fields, so no matter what each growing season brings, we'll get through it together. It's who we are. Thunderseed, first in the field.
Todd's Landscaping thanks you for your business. Todd's Landscaping, where no job is too big or too small. They do outdoor landscaping, brickwork, rockwork, and flagpole sales and installation. Todd's Landscaping, 218-945-6000. Think of the landscaping you want in your yard and share that idea with us at Todd's Landscaping. We'll work with you through the winter months to do your project. Todd's Landscaping, 218-945-6000. Call today.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes with you here from the Fog Dome. Make sure you patronize our sponsors for allowing us to be here to bring you these section championship games, whether it's been on the Minnesota volleyball side, Kitson County Central going up against Badger Greenbush Middle River in Crookston later tonight here on your live event at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow it's Perm against Wadena Deer Creek in Section 8 AA from Pelican Rapids. That and all these games of the Fog Dome. Thank you so much to our sponsors and you, the listeners and viewers, for tuning in as we start this second half of play at 1:40 after a contest that got underway at 12:34 here on a Friday afternoon. Conan Noshka will put this one on the tee at the 40-yard line. Gets the whistle from the white hat. The right-footed kick, end over end. Good-looking kick that's going to go all the way back to Louston at his own 13-yard line. Between the hashes, now to the outside 20, makes a cut back at the 25. Fumbles the football. Ball's on the turf. Ball's on the turf. Who's got it? Parker's Prairie pointing their way. Louston made a cutback, unable to bring it in. And Parker's Prairie, the Panthers, come up with the fumble. Well, that's a shot in the arm for Parker's Prairie. Getting that football is Trevor Rounds, the sophomore at 6'1" and the 25-yard line. So Louston going to fumble the football. Rounds recovers. And now Parker's Prairie will have their fifth possession of their game, their second in New York Mills territory at the Eagle 25-yard line. Can the Eagles defense come up again and make a defensive stand, or can the Panthers put this one in the end zone? Running, Revering gets to about the 20-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 6. Well, if you're Parker's Prairie and you're unable to put the ball in the end zone here, that is a lot of momentum that goes on the New York Mills Eagles side. But right now for Parker's Prairie, it's all about doing what they did, opening up some holes, opening up some lanes. A lot of eye candy that they put on their offense, and rightfully so when you have really good running backs as they have here this season. Reverend is there also He'll get another crack at this one to the near sideline, to the numbers, to about the 21-yard line. And the Eagles there with Finn Roeder brings him down for a tackle of a loss of 2, maybe 3. That'll be a 3-yard loss. Also, again, not seen out there Joe Johnson, as you have Zachary Ruckheim, the sophomore, going to be at that fullback spot here for the Parker's Prairie Panthers. So the Panthers will have a third down upcoming, ball spotted on the near hash at the 22-yard line into the Eagles 15 for a first. Naska under center. Handoff, little fullback trap here to the aforementioned Ruckmeimer as he gets the 15, gets the first down to the 10, keeps his rumbling going to about the 7-yard line for a gain of 15 yards. Ruckheim there with a gain of 15. So first down upcoming here for the Parker's Prairie Panthers. First and goal here will be spotted at the New York Mills Eagles 7-yard line. First turnover of the game goes against the Eagles. Can the Panthers put some points on the board? Under center again is Naska. Motion man is Revering. Naska keeps it, little option play, pitches it out with the football. There is Revering before he gets stacked at about the 3-yard line. The Eagles providing some of the hit there on the outside. Doing a good job as Blake Unger getting the stick, but not before. It's a gain of 4 yards. Any NDSU fan will like to see that. That's kind of like old Kevin Feeney football right there. And then you go back to Bentram and company running the veer. Apropos here at North Dakota State. Fargnum home to the NDSU Bison. They will play for the marker tomorrow down in Brookings. I-29 rivalry. Naska under center yet again. Oh, fullback trap play. This one, Basil walks in. Touchdown, Panthers. And they are roaring with a 6-point lead. It's a 3-yard scamper for Basil. 6 carries, 40 yards, and a score. And Parker's Prairie, for the second time today, has a lead on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Well, that didn't waste too much time on that particular drive. 5 plays to go 25 yards for the score. And almost just like the first half, it takes 79 seconds off the clock. 2-point conversion upcoming here for Parker's Prairie. Revering keeping it, looking for a little sliver. We do have a flag coming back at the 5. If it's on the Panthers, it'll be negated regardless. And Parker's Prairie would have a 6-point lead with the kickoff unless it's on the Eagles, and the Panthers will have another crack at this one. So where it's looking, it'll be on the Panthers. It will be, and they'll decline it, but a new score on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Parker's Prairie leads by 6.
When you have a project that requires rock, gravel, crushed asphalt, or crushed concrete, or you need some trenching work done, call Visser Trenching of Ada. They'll move the dirt, they'll haul the rock, they'll take care of you. They do a great job. Call Visser Trenching Ada, 784-4381. Good luck, teams, from everyone at Visser Trenching.
There's something new at West Main Pizza in Ada. What's the deal, you ask? Actually, it's What's the Dill? The new dill pickle pizza. If you love pickles, you'll love What's the Dill at West Main Pizza. Or try their paninis, calzones, sub sandwiches, nachos, salads, and wraps. And of course, West Main Pizza is famous for pizza. From their famous cheese squares to specialty pizzas, West Main Pizza will satisfy your taste buds. And remember to try their new dill pickle pizza. West Main Pizza, downtown Ada.
All Parker's Prairie, the Panthers take advantage of that fumble. 5 plays, 25 yards to get the score. Low kick here for New York Mills as they will get the football in great starting field position at about the 44-yard line on the return there by Elijah Menzie. And the Eagles will handle the football. New York Mills will handle it here at the 44-yard line. This is their best starting field position. The last time they scored was the opening drive of the first half at their own 43-yard line. New York Mills will handle the football here. 1 wide receiver, both split out right and left. Maryland I. Dot the I is Louston. Under center is Roeder. Handoff. Louston and a shoestring tackle coming in unevaded on the outside. Noah Steidel. If there's been one part of the game for the Panthers defense that has been most impressive here today, has been the guys flying around from that linebacker to secondary spot here for Parker's Prairie. Louston will now make it second and a long 10 here for New York Mills. Winner plays Mahnomen-Waban a week from today in Brainerd. Again, one wide receiver spun out either side. Strong I formation, Roeder, play action, rolling near sideline, has some time to throw, throws it down the field. It's going to be almost picked off. It was bobbled not once but twice by two Panthers. You had a 15 and a 75. The 15 and went, the 75 in Murnack were all over the ball. It'll make it now 3rd down and 10 upcoming. You had an Eagle in the vicinity, but he was unable to get his claw on the football. And now it's 3rd and 10. And something that we haven't said maybe a ton of here is Murnack. They're almost trying to run away from the man because, for crying out loud, he had 100 tackles in 10 games here throughout the season so far. In this postseason, New York Mills averaging 30 points a game defensively, giving up 17. Parker's Prairie in 2 section postseason games, averaging 48 defensively, giving up 11. And we'll have a penalty here on the Eagles. 4 penalties now for 25 yards here for New York Mills, and New York Mills will have a 3rd and 15 upcoming. So a turnover, some points that go towards the Panthers. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 15. Panthers in those dark maroon uniforms with that gold helmet trim with the Panther logo on either side with some helmet stickers. For the Eagles, NYM on the helmet in blue. Roeder, quick screen, outside, caught, 40 to the 45 here. Robinson then gets bear hugged at about the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and there's Murnack there in on the tackle. Roeder now 2 of 3 through the air for 4 yards. Robinson gets his first reception, and the New York Mills Eagles will have to come on and punt this football away. 4th down upcoming here for the Eagles. Braxton Einert will come on and stand back at his own 35-yard line. Parker's Prairie stands back at their own 22 here. Looks to be Sean Hansen. There's a block punt. Parker's Prairie trying to pick up the ball. They do at the 38-yard line. Parker's Prairie gets the block punt on the way, and the defense and special teams has been the difference maker here in this second half. Caden Leininger with the block punt here for Parker's Prairie, and now all of a sudden the Panthers, if they put this puppy in the end zone, they'll be up by 2 scores. So a fumble and then a blocked punt here by the Eagles, and Parker's Prairie, their 6th possession of the day, will start in New York Mills territory at the 38-yard line. And if they're able to get it in the end zone here, this could be a haymaker's punch potentially for the Panthers. The Eagles looking for something positive defensively here. Nashka drops, looking for the hitch and goes. Got a man to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Parker's Prairie Panthers. Dylan DeBilzen takes it to the house for 38 yards on a hitch and go. And Nashka throws his 7th, now make it 8th passing touchdown of the season. A block punt, hitch and go goes the other way for the score for 37 yards. Three receptions for 44 yards and a touchdown. Nashka gets his first, now over 100 yards passing on the game, 142, 7 of 11, and Nashka will go under center. Nashka looking, and we have a timeout. I believe we'll have a timeout here before the 2-point conversion. Yes, we will. We'll take a break with them. 8:45 left to play in the quarter here on your liveevent.com.
An update From Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, now on the lot, 13 by 90 HP brand auger, all set up and it's on the lot, ready to go to your farm. New 33-foot Woolrich 657 DCR disc chisel with 3-bar harrow on the lot. New 29-foot Woolrich Chisel Pro. Ask for discounted pricing on new Woolrich tillage equipment. Don't forget the best discounts now on Amity beet equipment. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
So the Parker's Prairie Panthers have taken the most out of their opportunities here in the second half with field positions at the 25 and now the 30. Make it 8-yard pass there for Nashka. And all of a sudden, what was a 6-6 contest has all of a sudden ballooned to a 2-possession game here. And if you're New York Mills, whether they make the 2-point conversion or not, it still will be a 2-possession game. It's just you got to feel like your next offensive drive has to result in some points here with what Parker's Prairie has been able to do. Nashka with a great little hitch and go on the outside there to Dillon, the 5'8 senior. He was able to put on the afterburners, and Nashka with a perfect drop in the bucket kind of a pass. 2-point conversion upcoming. Nashka under center, end around there, goes to the outside. There's Basil. Basil walks into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. On our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, Parker's Prairie putting some separation now. It's the largest lead of the game against the Eagles at 14 on your live event.
Lakes Community Co-op takes pride in providing complete customer satisfaction as they serve their local communities with the necessary products and services for farms, businesses, and individuals. Energy solutions, feed, milk, C-stores, meat market, motel, car wash, HVAC, natural gas. Visit your neighborhood Lakes Community Co-op location for them to meet your needs or learn more at lakescommunitycoop.com.
At American Federal Bank, we have all the tools to help you achieve financial success. This is Nick Gordon, your local ag and business banker. Are you currently looking for banking, investment, or insurance options? American Federal Bank in Ada can help. Please contact me, Carly, or McKenna today at 784-7121. American Federal Bank in Ada, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Well, one play after the block punt, the Parker's Prairie Panthers 38 yards for the house call, and now New York Mills with Louston will handle it at the 20-yard line, and he's wrapped up for a tackle back at the 22-yard line, and Parker's Prairie playing like with their hair on fire right now as Ben Revering comes in on the tackle. New York Mills, 6th possession of the game. This will be back at their own 21-yard line, and they are just looking for something positive, a first down, a big play, anything. But it's been the special teams right now. That's 3 phases of the game. It's been the special teams of Parker's Prairie that has allowed them to get out to this 14-point lead over New York Mills in this Section 6A championship game. Twins to the right, one to the near sideline. Finn Roeder in that pistol formation. Panthers with 4 down linemen. Handoff, Louston up the middle, spinning his way to the 25 and taking Panthers with him to about the 30, make it the 29-yard line. Tell you what, Louston, the old Xbox B button, he's got that move down perfectly. We've seen him spinning, turning, and burning here between the guards today here for New York Mills. These two teams again played back on September the 15th. Parker's Prairie shut out the Eagles 39-0 was the final in that one. But the old adage in Minnesota section football, you got to beat a couple of teams twice to try to find a way to get to state. Finn Roeder gets about a yard before he's tackled down. Parker's Prairie in on the tackle looked to be their Riley Looker, the 5'9 junior at 255. Roeder with a yard on the rush, 8 carries now for 50 yards. 3rd down and short for the Eagles. They will need about the 31.5-yard line for the first. New York Mills will spread them out. One wide receiver to either side. Joseph Mann to the right-hand side under center, Finn Roeder. Roeder surveys the defense, play clock to 7. QB keeper here, Roeder gets about enough of the first from our vantage point before he is taken down again by Looker, and they will give him enough for that first down, though, spotted at the 32. Now the Eagles can kind of take a collective breath. It doesn't matter if it takes 8 minutes off the clock or it takes 2 seconds off the clock. If the Eagles can score, it'd be a one-possession game, barring if a two-point attempt is good or not. That's what the Eagles need to do. Parker's Prairie, you have a feeling if you get another turnover, you get them to punt the football away, you get the ball back to your offense, you might be able to put this game away potentially on your next offensive possession. But right now the Eagles need a timeout, and we'll break with them here. First down and 10 when we return as we're getting to the midway point of the third quarter here at the Forum.
Now's the time to call the Bennett Hoagland Agency for PRF coverage. If you depend on rainfall in specific months to maximize haying and or grazing practices, then pasture, rangeland, forage. PRF is a great risk management choice for you. Sign-up deadline is December 1st. Talk with John, Wayne, or Marissa. Experience matters. The Bennett Hoagland Agency has been working with PRF for over 15 years. The Bennett Hoagland Agency, Ada and Moorhead, 1-800-784-2106. The Bennett Hoagland Agency is an equal opportunity provider.
High school football here on YourLiveEvent.com on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Parker's Prairie 20, New York Mills 6. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you. Make sure you stay tuned later today for more section championship football, 8AA and 8AAA. Pelican Rapids against Barnesville in 8AA. Morris area against DGF and 8AAA. That AA game scheduled around a 5:30 pregame show with Joe Lancello. New York Mills first down and 10 as they will handle the football here. Fake the pitch, give it on the end around, and Einert's going nowhere. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards. Parker's Prairie not fooled on the pitch at all, as the Panthers again been able to fly all over the field. That is Evan Lenzen right there making the tackle for a loss. Loss of 2. Well, some players who might be an early indicator of our players of the game could be these linebackers, very much so for Parker's Prairie. I think the play of the game right now, though, is that fumble and then the block punt, and for Parker's Prairie to score not 1 but 2 touchdowns off those particular turnovers, unless something happens throughout the remainder of these 18 minutes in regulation. Finn Roeder goes under center. They will handle a option play here, and look at the seam that opens up on the way for Tegan Lautzen. Different formation to run a triple option, but they get 10 yards and make it third down and very manageable here for the Eagles. Lawson 17 carries now for 60 yards. Roeder has 9 carries for 52. That's been your 1-2 combination so far here for the New York Mills Eagles. Third down and a long 2 here for New York Mills. Kaluski lines up to the near sideline. Robinson to the right in the wide receiver spot. Louston trying to get to the boundary, breaks a couple tackles, and he spins to the 42-yard line. And be awfully close of a first down. And they're going to mark it, or will they give him the first? It's at the 42, and they're going to, well, they might have to bring out the chain gang for the first time here today. We'll see what the White Hand wants to do. Nope, not going to bring out the chain gang. They're going to give him the first down. And Parker's Prairie coaching staff, I can understand the reason why, and I can understand the reason why for New York Mills coaching staff. In this kind of situation, bring out the chain gang. See how close it is, but they're going to say, nope, got enough there for Lawson for 2 yards. 18 carries for 62 yards and a first down. For a second there, it looked like Radnicki was going to get upset that they didn't bring out the chain gang for New York Mills. Then Mike Johnson's the one upset for Parker's Prairie because they gave him the first. Regardless, Eagles move the chains on a fresh set of downs. And we'll have a flag on this play. Might be delay a game as the play clock went all the way to 0. And it will be. 5 penalties for 30 yards now for New York Mills. And it'll be a 1st and 15 upcoming. So first down upcoming here. Coach Radnicki wanted a play clock to get reset to negate that 5-yard penalty, as the officials will continue to talk it over right now and make sure that everything is good with 4:51 left to play here in this third quarter. Reminder, stay tuned to our post-game show. We'll get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the contest, that and more still to come once we get to our post-game show. And we'll see what the So there will not be a penalty here on New York Mills, so negate that call. And now all of a sudden it's back to 1st and 10. Eagles will handle it now 1st and 10. And we might get an official's timeout on the near sideline because Mike Johnson more than likely wants an explanation. After the first down, and again, it just doesn't matter what side of the state you are, what side of football, 9-player, 9-man to 11 to 6A to A. If you're not going to come out and have the chain gang come out with that particular play, I understand the reasoning. You want to get games going. You want to get the plays moving on here. But if you don't have that, that kind of adds to then the next one where it is a particular false start here on New York Mills. And sometimes they say ball don't lie. Well, that was 5 yards. So you go from the chain gang not coming out to giving them a first down on the spot, which was ever so close, to the play clock needed to get reset, wasn't 5 yards. Both coaches get their explanations into eventually we do get a penalty and we're back to square root where we were about 2 minutes ago. 5 penalties for 30 yards. Now will be a 1st and 15 here for the Eagles. One wide receiver split on either side here for Finn Roeder, the sophomore. Make sure everyone gets lined up here. Parker's Prairie. They'll bring 5. Stepping up here for New York Mills, that's not Finn Roeder, new quarterback, and running his way to about the 45-yard line, but there's a couple of penalties back at the original line here. New York Mills with Braxton Ingert to the 43-yard line. We'll see what this penalty and who is it going to be on. As you had 1 and 2 come out immediately, and they'll push him back. They'll negate the run of about 20 yards. And this penalty will be on New York Mills, a costly one because you had a first down instead. Now it's going to be 1st and a country mile upcoming here for the Eagles. Ball spotted at their own 27-yard line. They will need the Parker's Prairie 48 for a first down. So 1st and 25 here for New York Mills. This time, Finn Roeder does go under center. Inger lines up to the left. Roeder, handoff Louston, gets the 30-yard line, able to make his way to about the 33, so a gain of 6 yards. 19 carries for 68 yards right now for Louston. In a contest in the third quarter that has been described by penalties a little bit here from New York Mills. 2 turnovers that have been costly that has resulted into 2 touchdowns here for Parker's Prairie. We were tied at 6 after 1 quarter, tied at 6 after 1 half, but right now the Parker's Prairie Panthers lead it by 14 points. Roeder right up the middle, and he's going to get stuck. That was the old Oklahoma drill on full display. Evan Lenzen, the linebacker, coming through that A-gap saying, we've seen that quarterback draw or power a couple times, and Finn took a shot, and he will have to get looked at here with an official's timeout here on the play. We'll break with them. 3rd and long upcoming as they check out Finn on your live event.
Center and Heritage House in Halstead provide great places for seniors to live. They emphasize choices, independence, and provide services as directed by residents. They're also great places to work, where employees find not only a job, but also rewarding and enjoyable experiences that contribute to the lives of others. To get more information on Halstead Living Center and Heritage House in Halstead, call 218-456-2105 or log on to halsteadlivingcenter.com.
High school football here on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes with you. Good to see Finn Roeder coming off the field on his own pressure, but now all of a sudden it's 3rd down and long here for the Eagles. New York Mills into that pistol formation. Quick little screen that goes to Robinson on the outside. Robinson has a lane to the 40, and then he gets stuck coming in here for Parker's Prairie. The Eagles, and where that's the man, the senior, Murnack, just came in like a bullet and put the shoulder pad in that sternum for a 5-yard reception. Robinson, 2 receptions now for 11 yards. Einert with his first pass for 5, and now he'll stand back to punt this football away. Those almonds smell really good here at the Fargo. There's the aromas coming through all the way up to the press box. Right-footed kick doesn't get blocked this time, but it's going to go on the Parker's Prairie sideline. Take an Eagle, bounce to the 40 all the way inside the Parker's Prairie 25 and rolling and making its way to the 20-yard line. So a good-looking punt does flip the field here for New York Mills of 43 yards, but that Eagles defense will need to make a stand with time not on their side. If Parker's Prairie gets into the end zone, 3 touchdowns might be too much to overcome for the Eagles here as we're getting closer and closer to that fourth quarter. 7th possession of the game here for Parker's Prairie so far after the half, a touchdown and a touchdown. But they've started at the New York Mills 25 and 38-yard line. This will be back at their own 21 here for the Panthers. High school football today here on your liveevent.com. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here from the Fargo. A happy Friday and good weekend to you. Nasca under center. Making its way for about maybe a yard or 2 here for the Panthers. As Ruckheim is able to get back to about that 21-yard line. Again, Joe Johnson got injured late in the second quarter. We have not seen him return, and he actually has a cast on right now, or a little bit of an ankle. Make that a knee brace at the 45-yard line. Good news, though, don't see any ice, don't see a stretcher, don't see anything that would determine him from hopefully coming back next week from a Panther point of view. Revering's going to get stuck at the 21-yard line. No crutches either, but he does have a brace around that ankle here for Parker's Prairie. So, again, his day will be done. Revering gets stuck, and now it's 7 carries for 56 yards. And if you're New York Mills, well, defense has done what it needed to do. Get a 3rd down and long and try to get off the football field. Parker's Prairie, though, when they've thrown, they've had some big yards so far here today. 105, make it 142 yards passing. 7 of 11 is the quarterback under center here in Nasca. They will need their own 31 for the first, what could be the final play of the third quarter. Little end around, almost is a fumble. Parker's Prairie able to pick it up, but that was very close of maybe going in the belly of an Eagle. Instead, Parker's Prairie will see this one with Basil maybe get a yard, and that's it as we end this third quarter of play. Parker's Prairie with 14 points in the quarter. They now lead going to the final 12 minutes on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, up by 14, but it'll be 4th and 10 with the punt upcoming for the Panthers.
Gordon Construction of Mahnomen is a Native American-owned business proudly operating on the White Earth Indian Reservation since 1983. As a bonded general contractor, Gordon Construction provides years of experience in large, detailed, and within-budget projects. Gordon Construction is committed to the safety of its employees and the environment of its work sites. To learn more about Gordon Construction of Mahnomen, visit gcmahnomen.com or call 218-935-2191.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
The Eagle defense gets their first 3 and out of the contest, and it came at about the last time that you possibly could have it. Parker's Prairie will come out as Joe Johnson normally handles the punts. So the Panthers get this one off, end over end kick by Cohen and Noska. with it now for the Eagles to the 40-yard line to the outside, and New York Mills to the 35, and here comes the Eagles. Finn Roeder and positive field position now for New York Mills. It'll be the first time today that New York Mills has started in Parker's Prairie territory. With 11:51 left to play here in the quarter. And if you're New York Mills, it's a gotta-have-it drive. You don't need 8, you don't need 7, but you at least need 6. You got to get it back to a one-score game. It's a 4-down territory here throughout for the Eagles. Under center again goes Roeder. Ball spotted at the 36. Best starting field position here for New York Mills. And we'll have a full start. They're looking for a pitch play to Louston. Hunter Bossman got a little bit too much of a head start out of the blocks, and now make it 1st and 15. But the penalties here for the Eagles are starting to prove costly. 7 penalties for 45 yards. They've had 4 so far in the second half alone. And for New York Mills right now, you're starting to get to it's the drive or the season kind of territory here if you don't put it in the end zone. For Parker's Prairie, the Panthers, what they're looking to do is just keep the Eagles out of the end zone, then milk the clock away and find themselves with a date with Mahnomen-Waban on Friday night in Brainerd. Finn Roeder under center. Here goes Louston, gets those penalty yards back and some. Makes his way to about the 34-yard line for a gain of 7. 20 carries for 75 yards. Second down and 8 upcoming here for the New York Mills Eagles. The Eagles open up the season with a loss to Ada Borup West. Defeated Pine River Bacchus 38-0. Lost to Parker's Prairie 39-0. Then went 1-4 in their next 5 games before beating West Central Area and Breckenridge to get to this Section 6A championship. New York Mills pitches Louston to the 35. Then he's going to get stuck at about the 32. And not one but 2 Panthers. Murnack brings him down also with Lenzen. And that'll be a gain of 2 yards. 21 carries for 77 yards. Third down upcoming here for the Eagles. They will need the Panthers 26 for the first. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here for the remainder of this 10-minute and 45-second contest here in regulation. Finn Roeder will split out now to a wide receiver as the Eagles will have Braxton Einert under center. Braxton, 3-step drop, rolls left-hand side looking. Now he's going to try to evade, but he's unable to do so. It's going to be a sack at the 35-yard line. A 2-yard loss. Coming in on the outside is Mason Basil for the sack, and that'll bring up a 4th and 9. So now all of a sudden, what does Coach Radnicki here have in his playbook for a 4th down and 9 where the Eagles' biggest play offensively again has been a Roeder 18-yard rush here today. A lot of it's been 5 through 10 yards for this Eagles offense, and well, we'll figure out after a timeout on the field. We'll break with them. 9:52 left to play in the contest here on our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard on your live event.
Christian Motors is proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
High school football today here on yourliveevent.com. Parker's Prairie 20, New York Mills 6. Parker's Prairie fans standing on their feet, chanting defense here. They understand the situation. You make a stick here, it could potentially be the ball game with New York Mills down to 1 timeout remaining. New York Mills fans now rising to the occasion on the far side of the field. 4th down and potentially the season here for New York Mills. 4th and 9. Under center. Einert, Roeder motions out into the slot. Play action. Einert's got to get the ball up, and he is sacked from the backside. He is sacked as he goes down. Parker's Prairie with Evan Lenzen with the sack of 10 yards unevaded. and the Panther defense able to make the stand. For New York Mills in the second half, fumble, blocked punt, punt and downs. Parker's Prairie able to get the turnover on downs, and now all of a sudden you play keep away, you put it in the end zone, all of the above outside of a turnover or a quick 3 and out is what Parker's Prairie fans will need. If you're New York Mills, you're trying to somehow get the ball back with that turnover or a 3 and out on the opposite side. Hand off Revering to the outside. Revering with the crease to the 50. Look out, he could go 40 into Eagle territory. Can anybody catch David Revering to the 10, to the 5, end zone, touchdown, Panthers. And that could be the dagger, a 58-yard rushing touchdown for the senior, David Revering. Able to get it in for 6 from 58 yards out for Revering. 8 carries on the day for 114 yards and a touchdown here for Revering. He was able to get to the outside, and once he made the cutback at the 50, there was no one on the backside there in the secondary for the Eagles, and Revering with the longest play of the day here for either club. Panthers with 20 points in the half, 14 in the third, 6 points here in the fourth, and they're going for the 2-point conversion. And they'll need a timeout here for Coach Mike Johnson to drop the 2-point play. We'll break with them. 9:35 left in regulation. 2-point conversion when we return.
Performance Ag west of Borup is locally owned and operated and ready to serve the area farmer. They offer these products for the upcoming season: seed, chemicals, dry and liquid fertilizer, and application services. When we're talking seed from Performance Ag, they'll provide growers with corn, soybean, sunflower, small grain, sugar beet, or other seed that you plant on your farm. Thank you for your business from Performance Ag west of Borup.
For Revering right now on the ground, came in with 807 yards of rushing. You add 114 to that, he'll be knocking on the 1,000-yard mark potentially here if he gets one more big play today or going into that state quarterfinals if this score holds. There's still a lot of time, 9:35 left, but with how New York Mills kind of runs their offense, we haven't seen the big play capability of 20, 35, 40 yards consistently. It's been more 5, 6, 7 kind of yard plays here for the Eagles. 2-point conversion. Naska under center, fumbles the football, ball is loose, and that is going to negate the 2-point conversion. So with 9:35 left to play in our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, new score, Panthers lead by 20.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
As the seasons change, now's the time for the indoor projects with the help of Ada Building Center, LLC. Now's the time to get contractors scheduled for indoor projects and home improvements. Ada Building Center, LLC will provide the products you need. Flooring with several new styles to choose from, trim, cabinets, doors, and more. Enhance your home with indoor remodel and home improvement products from Ada Building Center, LLC, Highway 200, East Edge, Ada.
One play that takes 13 seconds off the clock for a 58-yard rushing touchdown by Revering, and Nashka puts this one to the tee. Picking it up is Roeder at the 19-yard line, near sideline 30, cuts back to the far side of the field, trying to get to the 35. Finn makes another cut at the 35. Ball's on the turf, and Eagles able to recover the football. Gutfiller here, Sam here for New York Mills. Otherwise, that would have for surely put the game away here for Parker's Prairie. New York Mills will handle the football as they will be at the 34-yard line. Taking a look back in the first half here for the Eagles. Opening drive, 14 plays, 7 minutes, 32 seconds off the clock, 57 yards with a score. But since then, it's been punt, fumble, block punt, and turnover on downs. Going to be option play here. They'll stretch it out. Louston, ball is on the turf again, and Murnak almost comes down with it as they're running the option play there with Braxton. And that'll be a loss of about 2 to 3 yards. All for Parker's Prairie in that first half. They had a touchdown. 5 plays, 1:20 went off the clock. Able to go 67 yards. Then it was downs, half. Touchdown, punt, touchdown here for Parker's Prairie. 3 other 4 possessions in the second half has resulted in pay dirt. Option play again. This time it goes to Louston. Louston gets to the boundary to the 35 before he's pushed out of bounds there on the outside by Wendt, the strong safety. Louston able to get about 4 yards on the play. 23 carries on the afternoon for 81 yards here for Teagan. 3rd down and a long 9 here for the New York Mills Eagles in a 3rd and you gotta have it situation. Clock does stop with Louston able to get out of bounds, so that's a positive from a New York Mills point of view, finding ways to extend this game down by 20. One wide receiver split out both to the left and the right. Einert under center at the own 35-yard line. Option play again. This one going to get pitched out here for New York Mills for a gain of 2. Hunter Bossman on the tackle to the outside for Parker's Prairie is Ben Wagner. And that is going to be to about the 37-yard line and make it a 4th down and a long 6. Bossman will have his first one of the game. They're trying to make sure what down it is on the far side of the field, and it is a 4th down. But right now with New York Mills, they got to get going here with the play clock to 13 seconds. Otherwise, they're going to have to call their last time out here unless they pump up the play clock here. And it will be 4th down here. So now all of a sudden, New York Mills trying to get a player on the field here, and that's going to be a delay of game. Again, they were looking across the field to see what down it was. The down marker had 3rd down. It was changed to 4th down late, and now you're going to have a delay of game here on New York Mills as they were trying to figure out, again, was it 3rd or 4th, just to make sure officially. 8 penalties for 50 yards, and it looked like New York Mills is going to punt this football away regardless. Parker's Prairie took the opening possession of the game for a score. New York Mills answered to make it 6-6. That would be the way it was until halftime. But Parker's Prairie has put their maroon thumbprints all over this second half. Here's the kick. It'll bounce to the 45, take a eagle roll inside the 40, and it'll be to the 38-yard line. So punt on the way for New York Mills, and if you're Parker's Prairie right now, 9th possession of the game, the realization of a potential first state title since 2003 is coming to reality a little bit more here inside the Fargo Dome. 9th possession of the contest, and Parker's Prairie with 7:34 left to play here in this 4th quarter. They do not have to be in any port of a rush by any stretch of the imagination here as Nashka, the senior, will come out. Little end-around play. Basil with a stiff arm. Gets the 40-yard line. Then a couple of Eagles coming in to make a tackle here. Robinson and Einert, the safety spot. Basil able to get 2 carries for about 2 yards. 7 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown on the way for Mason. Now it's going to be 2nd down and a long 8. Still to come later today here on YourLiveEvent.com, the Section 8 AA Championship with Pelican Rapids and Barnesville. Also Morris area going up against Dilworth, Glendon, Felton, and the Section 8 AAA contest. Joel Ansello will have the call for both of you, of both of those contests for you here on Your Live Event. Nashka under center. Motion man is Reverine. Little fullback trap play on the way. Ruckheim gets to about the 40, and that's it before he's stood up there. And that's going to be a long 3rd down upcoming. 4 carries for 20 yards on the way here for Parker's Prairie, and Zachary Ruckheim, the sophomore at 5'6" at 65 pounds. With this current result, with it holding for the last 6 minutes, Parker's Prairie would go up against Mahnomen Waban, the Thunderbirds, in the state quarterfinals. Going to be in Brainerd on a Friday night at 7, a week from tonight. 3rd and long here for the Panthers. Nashka handoff, stretching to the left-hand side. Ruckheim able to get his way to about the 42 for a gain of about 3 yards. And that'll bring up a punting situation here for the Panthers, but able to chew off 2 minutes. Those are valuable, precious seconds and minutes that are going by the wayside here. Even if you don't do much offensively, if you can at least trim 2 minutes off the clock from the Panthers' perspective, that's all that you need to do and bow up defensively. Nashka stands back at his own 28-yard line here for Parker's Prairie. Sees that play clock get to single digits. Clean snap. Right-footed boot. New York Mills will retrieve it at the 31-yard line with Roeder. Roeder gets the outside 45 and makes his way close to midfield. Second punt of the contest here for Parker's Prairie. New York Mills will start with the football right at midfield with 5:01 left in this fourth quarter. This New York Mills team able to upend West Central area and Breckenridge to get to this championship section title in 6A this season. Might not be the overall record of what they would want, but they still found a way, as New York Mills has done the last couple of years, to have a really good quality high school football seasons just in the last 3 years alone. 10-2, 8-2, and now this year, with this result, they would drop to 4-7, but again, make it to a section title game. As man able to plow his way for 9 yards. 3 carries for 15 yards. Second down and short upcoming. One wide receiver split up either side. Little sugar no huddle here now for the Eagles. Einert under center. Option. Pitches. Louston. Louston gets the boundary here to about the 36-yard line before he's tackled for Parker's Prairie. Lenzing comes in on the tackle for a gain of about 3 yards. .24 carries for 88 yards. First down and 10 upcoming here for the New York Mills Eagles. One wide receiver spin out to the left-hand side, Kowalski. One to the near sideline is Robinson. Option again. They will pitch it to the outside. Eagles getting to the boundary and a couple more yards. Good-looking run by Elijah Menzie. Menzie, the junior, with some wheels for a gain of 9. Menzie will have his first rush of the contest. And with the quarterback again in Braxton Einert, the junior, we've seen a little bit more of the triple option game than what we saw with Finn Roeder earlier. That was more I formation, Maryland I, run it right up between the tackles, try to stop it if you can. There's a fullback dive on the way to about the 32-yard line. His man is able to get a handful of yards here to the 26, that is, for a gain of about 3 yards. But for New York Mills right now, some more time is getting chewed off this clock here with a wide receiver split up both to left and right. Panthers with 7 men in the box, playing a little cover 4 over the top of it. Try not to get beat deep. This one will get pitched to the outside here for New York Mills. Here comes the flag. The Eagles with Menzie gets to 24-yard line. It's a gain of 3, but barring the penalty, and it looks to be a hold on the Eagles. And it will be a hold on New York Mills. So it'll be 9 penalties for 60 yards if this one is accepted for Coach Mike Johnson, as he's wondering second and about 7, second and 8, or move them back and make it about a 1st and 20. And it will be a penalty here, and that has really been a difference maker as well here in the second half. Parker's Prairie has 0 penalties in the second half, 2 in the game for 15 yards. New York Mills with 3 penalties in the second half, 3 penalties in the first half. They have 6 in the second, 60 yards so far. 9 penalties, 60 yards for the Eagles. 1st and 20. Man goes right up the middle, past the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Gain of 8 on the way here for Man. 5 carries on the game now for 27 yards. 2nd down upcoming. One wide receiver split out left-hand side for the Eagles. Kaluski. Option play again, keeping this one to about the 26-yard line for a gain of 2 goes Braxton. So Einert now 4 carries for -2 yards. 3rd down upcoming here for New York Mills. A drive that's gone over 2 minutes and now 22 seconds. Eagles quickly get to the line. Einert, fullback, able to get about a yard or 2 on the play there with Man to bring up a 4th down. 4th down upcoming here for the Eagles. That'll be at the Panthers' 24-yard line. They will need the 17 for the first as we get to that 2-minute mark here inside the Fargo. Eagles, one wide receiver split up both to left and right under center. Again goes Einert. Einert with a drop. Einert trying to evade a sack, and the Panthers defense gets him back in the 30-yard line. Coming in on the sack is Basil. He was one of 3 Panthers able to get there and force a little bit of a pressure to be a turnover on downs, a 6-yard loss, and all that the Panthers need to do now is put some knees to the carpet, and they will win their first section title since 2003. Timeout here for New York Mills. We'll break with them and bring you the final 1 minute and 56 seconds of this Section 6A title game when we return.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Well, a classy move here by New York Mills and Coach Matt Radnicki, giving his seniors the opportunity to be recognized in front of their fans across the far sideline of the field. New York Mills with a nice round of applause with the respective seniors and the starters on this year's team. Even though it's not going to end on how they want it to go, they will still find a way again to get to this section championship game in 6-man. The Eagles will drop to 4-7. For Parker's Prairie, the Panthers, they will improve to 9-2. And one of the 4 quarterfinal round matchups in Class A in Minnesota is going to be set as they will go up against Mahnomen-Waubun upcoming a week from today in Brainerd. The Parker's Prairie Panthers, the difference in this game was the 2 turnovers that they were able to get to start the 3rd quarter of play. Essentially with the block punt, a fumble, they scored 14 points out of that, and they found a way to get in the end zone twice early on in the 3rd quarter, and New York Mills was unable to answer offensively. All the Panthers, again, need to do, they continue to look at that clock, let it wind. 2 more knees, and they will be the champs here in Section 6A football. As they do it one more time here for Nashka. The Parker's Prairie Panthers. This will be their first matchup with Mahnomen-Waubun here this season. Wins over Lake Park Ottoman. WHA, New York Mills, Wadena Deer Creek, Breckenridge, Pine River Bacchus, Walker, Hackensack, Ackley again in the postseason, in Lake Park Ottoman has been their wins, and the Panthers with the QB knee have made it official take that 20-year hiatus streak and throw it out the door. The Panthers are heading to the state tournament in Minnesota for the first time since 2003. Parker's Prairie, Mahnomen, Wadman set for Friday night, a week from tonight in Brainerd. On our Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, Parker's Prairie defeats New York Mills 26-6 and improves to 9-2 on the season. New York Mills, the Eagles, they will drop to 4-9 on the year. Nasca with a passing and a rushing touchdown here. Revering with a 58-yard score here for Parker's Prairie. We're back after this with our post-game show, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, and more. That's all still to come from the Forgadome on your live event.
Always been more so of a caring person, I'd say. I don't know, the care aspect and being able to make a difference in their life and help them to have as normal of a life as they can. Whenever I provide care for them, I always try and go above and beyond and do you need anything else? Can I help you do this while I'm here? And take care of all these wonderful residents, and it's really nice having such awesome residents here. I would definitely recommend a career at Benedictine Beta.
Lakes Community Co-op takes pride in providing complete customer satisfaction as they serve their local communities with the necessary products and services for farms, businesses, and individuals. Energy solutions, feed, milk, C-stores, meat market, motel, car wash, HVAC, natural gas. Visit your neighborhood Lakes Community Co-op location for them to meet your needs or learn more at lakescommunitycoop.com.
The goal of the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club is to support our youth activities. They invite you to join the Booster Club today. The Panther Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out to the indoor trunk or treat over Halloween. They remind you of the annual ice fishing tournament on February 2nd, and of course the annual golf tournament to be held this summer. Supporting Parker's Prairie Panther athletics, academics, and fine arts. It's the Parker's Prairie Panther Booster Club.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com, Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here on YourLiveEvent.com. Let's get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Enbridge, energy for life. Well, you could give it to one or two handful of players, but for Parker's Prairie, again, just going to give a lot of kudos and credit to that linebacker and secondary core of Steidel, Basil, Lenzen, Murnack. Those guys were flying. Then you added a Wendt and a Revering who were able to make plays as well. These guys have done it all. They are our Enbridge Energy players of the game. That defensive unit made things difficult here today for the New York Mills Eagles. As you see, Parker's Prairie taking their section title trophy to their crowd, enjoying this one here inside the Forgadome. It's now time to get to our Arctic Enterprises feature precision play of the contest. Go to Arctic Enterprises for any questions you might have from planting to the harvest season to the off season, that and out. Go to Arctic Enterprises in Hillsborough and Drayton. Go to planterdoc.com. That again is planterdoc.com. The difference in the game is the opening of the third quarter. Parker's Prairie recovered a football. Louston fumbled it. Rounds picked it up for Parker's Prairie. And then a couple plays later, they were able to put the ball in the end zone with the Basil 3-yard rushing touchdown. On the ensuing possession for New York Mills, the punt was blocked at the line, and one play, Parker's Prairie takes it for a 38-yard house call. Nasaka to DeBilzi for a 38-yard receiving touchdown. To DeBilzen, for a 38-yard receiving touchdown. And before he could blink in the opening couple minutes of the third quarter, what was a 6-6 contest all of a sudden made it a 20-6 contest. Those two plays are our Arctic Enterprises feature precision plays of the match. When we return after this, we'll take a look at the final numbers and put a bow on Parker Prairie's Section 6A title from the Fargo. They will play Mahnomen Waban a week from tonight in Brainerd. We're back after this from the Dome on YourLiveEvent.com.
Welcome to the New York Mills School, where the pursuit of knowledge meets the journey to success. Our institution is a beacon of excellence, fostering a dynamic learning environment for every student. New York Mills School takes pride in shaping well-rounded individuals, equipping them with the skills and knowledge needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. Join us in the pursuit of academic excellence. Enroll at New York Mills School today and unlock a world of possibilities for your child's future.
Kyle Larson here for Franson Bank and Trust. We are a Farmer Mac approved lender that can offer operating lines of credit, land, equipment, and facility financing. Our lending experts understand the farm economy and climate in and around the Ada area. With a fast underwriting process and local decision making, you can save time on all farming and ag-related inquiries. Contact our Ada office today to learn more. Franson Bank and Trust, real people, real results. Member FDIC.
As we take a look at the final numbers here in this one, again, Parker's Prairie 26-6 over New York Mills is the final. Final numbers go like this. Parker's Prairie, 329 yards of offense, 187 on the ground with 142 through the air. 2 penalties for 15 yards, both in the first half with 0 turnovers. For New York Mills here in this one, they would finish with 179 yards of total offense, 168 yards on the ground on 47 attempts with 11 yards passing. The Eagles would finish with 9 penalties, 60 yards with 6 penalties coming in the second half of play, and would have a turnover as well for the Eagles. Individual numbers, Kowanaska, 142 yards passing with a passing touchdown as well. He goes 7 of 11 through the air. The Bills in 3 receptions for 45 yards and a score. Wagner, 1 reception for 33 yards. Basil, 2 for 31. And Revering, 1 for 4 yards here for Parker's Prairie. On the ground, Basil, 7 carries for 42 yards and a score. Revering, 8 carries, 114 yards, 58-yard rushing touchdown was his last rushing attempt of the game that kind of put the game on ice here for the Panthers. Again, 8 carries, 114 yards, and a score for Revering. Nasca would officially finish 4 with minus 4 yards with those quarterback kneel downs at the end. Had a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Johnson, 2 carries for 13 yards. And then finishing it off here for the Parker's Prairie Panthers on the ground, Zachary Ruckheim, the sophomore, finished with 5 carries for 23 yards on the afternoon. New York Mills, Louston able to have 24 carries, 88 yards on the game. Finn Roeder, 10 carries, 52 yards with a 4-yard rushing touchdown. Bossman, 1 carry for 2. Menzie, 1 carry for 9. Mann, 6 carries for 29 yards. And then Einert had 5 carries for minus 8 yards. Finn Roeder through the air, 2 for 3 for 4 yards. And then Einert had the 1 reception of the game that went to Robinson as well for 5. Robinson, 2 receptions for 11 yards here for the New York Mills Eagles. So the season is completed here for New York Mills as they will drop to 4-6, while for the Parker's Prairie Panthers, they will improve now to 9-2 on the season. Congratulations goes out to Mike Johnson and the Parker's Prairie Panthers. Again, their last section title was in 2003. So that comes off the schneid moving forward here. Well, for the New York Mills Eagles, they will finish the season 4-7. Box score, both teams with 6 points in the first quarter. Parker's Prairie scoreless in the second, 14 in the third and 6 in the fourth. New York Mills, 0 points in the second, 0 in the third, and 0 in the fourth. One tie that was at the 3:02 mark in the first quarter after a Finn Roeder 3-yard rushing touchdown. From then on, Parker's Prairie scored the final 20 points of the contest. Basil, a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Nasaka to, you had the Bills in for the 38-yard receiving touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good, and Revering with the 58-yard rushing touchdown here for Parker's Prairie. Parker's Prairie moves on into the state quarterfinals where they will play again Mahnomen Waban upcoming on Friday at 7 p.m. And also a note, in the 9-man state quarterfinals, Goodrich, Grigla, Gatsky will go up against Fertile Beltrami from Moorhead. That'll be on Thursday at 7 o'clock. Make sure you stay tuned later today for some more high school football, a game that's next year from the Fargo, Osakis and Staples Motley. But we will have the final nightcap games here from you from the Dome. Pelican Rapids goes up against Barnesville in the Section 8 AA Championship. Then Morris Area will tango with DGF in the Section 8 AAA Championship game. On behalf of Joey Hughes, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for both coaches joining us in the pregame show. Thank you very much for joining us as well throughout the broadcast. And make sure you patronize all of our sponsors. Without them, we would not bring you our coverage here throughout Section Football. A reminder tonight in North Dakota, Region 1, Region 2 postseason volleyball, and in Minnesota tonight, Wadena Deer Creek. That'll be tomorrow. Wadena Deer Creek goes up against Perm in the Section 8A AA Championship. The Section 8A title will be Kitson County Central against Badger Greenbush Middle River. Kevin Copeland has a call at 7 o'clock in Crookston. That'll be at 7:30 for the opening serve. And then Joel Ansello will have the call of the 8AA Championship tomorrow between Wadena Deer Creek and alongside Perm. That'll be roughly at 7 o'clock for our first serve. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Make sure you go to yourliveevent.com for more high school coverage throughout Minnesota and North Dakota here through the month of October and once we get to that winter sports season. Have a good rest of your night from the Fargo Dome.